called Next Door Neighbor.
Wow, a song I recognize.
Right? A song from like the last 20 years.
Welcome everyone to Wasted with Wize, episode 84 in the end. Chose that song because, well, we're going to be talking about it a little bit later today. So yeah, in the end. So
I'm not seeing the correlation, so you have to explain.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. It correlates to a topic, but yeah. Anyway, so Linkin Park. Anyone care for Linkin Park? Linkin Park was like phenomenal back in the day. I met Chester Benefield back in when they first were starting out, because back when you're first starting out, you do all these small dive bars that you normally would not do once you get big, right? So there was this club in Birmingham where I went to college called Bell Bottoms, and they used to perform there, and I saw Benefield there quite a bit. So my friend was a bouncer there. That was his job, huh?
It's Bennington.
Oh, Benefield. Oh, it's been ages ago. Yeah. And the man's dead.
Remember, he said he went to college. He didn't say he was a student there, just that he went there. Okay.
Hey, look, I can deal with one letter, maybe two letters, maybe at most three letters at a time. But when you start putting all of them together, then I don't know what to do. Okay, that's not my department. There you go. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get started with my panelists. We got a long show tonight, so let me go to the man to my right, Supernova, my man. How's life been treating you? What you boss?
I'm drinking Dr. Pepper. It's been all right. I've been playing a little bit of Frag Punk. Me and Real Gamer are checking that out. I dived back into Days Gone for a little bit, and then I realized, fuck man, this game is so long. Like, I don't think I'm gonna play back through. It's also one of those games where when I played through, like, part of the thing that helped pull me through, not that the game's not fun, but part of the thing that helped pull me through is the story. Like, where is it gonna go? You know, what's gonna happen next? And when you already know it, it's harder to get through a game that long again. So I'm kind of I'm just kind of looking for shit to play until Doom comes. Yeah.
Let me ask you. So I always have one big gargantuan story game on the back burner, like right, you know, like for example, God of War or something like that. Do I play it actively all the time? No, I do not. But like, it's my big game. It's a game that's like 50 hours. That's going to take me a better part of 2 weeks or so, maybe even 3 weeks, depending on my schedule. Right. So right now I'm torn. Do I do the new version of Days Gone, or do I get ready for Death Stranding 2 by playing Death Stranding 1? I didn't ever finish Death Stranding 1.
Fuck.
Get through it, man. Just go and play it. Work through the story.
Which one? But which one?
Games.
The first one?
Days Gone?
No.
Have you not?
If you're going to be going into Days Gone 2, I would say of the two, then obviously play Days Gone. Like, that way you get... You
There's no Days Gone. You mean Death Stranding 2?
That's what I meant. Death Stranding.
Okay.
So you play through Death Stranding.
They all blend in after a while, over the shoulder bowl or whatever. You know.
Fuck off. But no, like, because obviously since there is no Days Gone 2, like, there's nothing for you to get caught up on for something else. With Death Stranding, it might be nice to get caught up on what's going on before you go into Death Stranding 2. Although I hear that for almost everything in the game that comes up that you may not know, the second it pops up, you can hit a little button that takes you to a glossary and index and tells you exactly what that thing is. Because even me, I played and beat Death Stranding. I don't remember what half that shit was, or what the fuck it meant, or who these people are. So, but I'm damn for sure not going to replay that fucking game to figure that shit out. So I'll either watch a recap.
Yeah, there's a whole glossary. He said there's a whole glossary you can refer to. Kind of like the codex stuff from Metal Gear, I think. I would assume.
The problem I had was the initial gameplay loop. Like, when I first started it up, I fired up the game and, you know, I got it, a physical copy, and I was like, okay, not my cup of tea. I think there was a couple other games out at that time as well.
I'll tell you right now, if you don't like the gameplay loop, that's the gameplay loop for like 60
No, I mean, it wasn't... Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like, from what I've heard, I've heard the story is phenomenal. And I've heard that if you give it a chance, the gameplay grows on you. Now, I didn't give it a chance because at that time, I remember there was like Death Stranding and there was a couple of other big games that sort of released roughly at the same time. And so I started Death Stranding, fired it up, and then something sort of sidetracked me, and I never got back to it. I mean, I went back and looked at some of their videos.
It's really going to depend on the person. Like the story isn't going to make the gameplay better. Like me personally, I kind of enjoyed the aspect of, okay, here's where I need to go. I need to plot from point A to point B and plot out where am I going to go? How am I going to get around these natural, elements or BTs or whatever? And I kind of enjoyed that. It was relaxing. But for people that don't like that gameplay loop or don't think that it's fun, I don't think the story is going to make it any more fun. At that point, you're better off just watching a YouTube video of all the cutscenes to figure out what the story is, because it's not like one of those games like a lot of these PlayStation games where a lot of exposition or story is told while you're walking and talking to other characters. It's a Kojima game. It's all told to fucking cutscenes. So
I would disagree. I would disagree. Sorry for interrupting, Paul. I'll be very brief. I would disagree, Super. I almost cried the third or fourth time that I was just walking. It was raining, and then the music came on. I got chills. But the timing was perfect. Wize, you are muted.
But this is coming from somebody who drinks Kojima's bathwater. So,
oh my god! All right,
yeah,
well,
I
I'm
would
done.
too. Though,
I'm
to be
done.
fair,
no, go ahead. I'm just
Kojima's one of the greats,
Well,
right?
Go ahead.
But I was just going to say that anytime a thing starts with, well, if you give it time, it'll grow on you for a game, be it the gameplay, the loop, or the controls, that automatically puts me in a situation where, okay, so if I don't like it, I should play it more to try to like it. That's what everybody always said about what's it called, Elden Ring. Because I was always like, "What's the story for Elden Ring?"
No, you don't understand, bro.
You just gotta keep playing it. Yeah. What the fuck? I am 60 hours in. I am not gonna keep playing it. I don't know.
If your game can't grab me within the first 5 hours, then you failed at making an engaging game. Because in the first 5 hours, it should at least have some hooks in me, whether it's gameplay.
I would even say 2 or 3. I would even say 2 or 3.
I agree. I was being conservative, but yeah. It's 10 hours or needing 20 hours to finally let a game speak to me. Fuck off, dude.
Especially with
when they want you to watch a show and they're like, no, listen, it gets really good at episode 17. I'm not watching 17.
For that, I will give it usually 3 episodes is my thing. I will give any show 3 episodes.
But this is going to rub people the wrong way. But that was the same. That was the thing with Mass Effect for me when I first played the original Mass Effect on the 360, and I got into it. And that first planet, it's like that little space station that you go to. I really didn't understand what the gameplay loop was per se in detail. Like, is it a first person? Is it a RPG? Whatever it was, until I acclimated myself to it, it took me a couple of hours to sort of get into Mass Effect.
Right.
So, I mean, some games are like that. And normally, like
I said, 2 to 3. Yeah.
What Days Gone was the same. That's the same thing with Days Gone as well. Like when I first played it on the PlayStation 4, I played it a little bit, and I was coming off of like The Last of Us 2 and all, and it seemed more of the same. So I was like, maybe it will grow on me, but I don't want it to grow on me right now because I'm tired of this mechanism and post-apocalyptic bullshit over and over again. So I never went back to it. The problem is everyone talks about their fucking backlog, but I contend that games are coming out at such a regular cadence that there's no going back to your backlog. You put it on the back burner and say, okay, I'm going to go to it, unless you just are sitting at home and playing video games.
If it's a matter of genre thing, I just did that game and I don't want to do this game, same genre. I can get that because then you kind of need what they would call a palate cleanser. You need
a breather from it.
Yeah. I mean, that's
understandable, man. I felt the same way with Assassin's Creed for the last few releases, but then I bought Shadows and I'm having a really good time with it. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes, it's just you can overdo it in certain things, and it'll just flatline, make you not interested.
Yeah, but it still doesn't help my dilemma any, because I really want to play Death Stranding 2, but everyone who's played it has said that in order to really appreciate it, you have to play the first one.
I don't really think that's the case.
A YouTube clip
no, Now, see that's even worse than what I was saying, because if they're saying to appreciate the game, you have to play the first one. The first one that's like 172,000 hours long and a shitload of walking. No.
Yeah, I spent 3 months building just the road. You know what I mean? 3 months on just roads, man. It's
but when you guys were playing it, the infrastructure or whatever wasn't there, right? Like by now,
late, but I just want to say what's up.
I would say to do that. If you really feel like you need to play the first one first, I am talking. Let me finish.
Oh, I was talking first.
Oh, no, you weren't. Stop it.
If you're going to keep this up, I'm going to leave.
Bye.
All right.
No, I'm kidding.
No,
no, just let me. If you're going to do that, what I would do, if you really feel like you need to go through the first one first, do a walkthrough and do a straight run through. Just follow the walkthrough here, bit for bit, just to get through it.
I'm not trying to get no platinum on it. I just want to get the story.
Now, people tell me that I'll play just the main story.
Yeah,
but it takes a while for it to get going. Listen, the game, when I look at it, I'm interested.
Why even with the first one, a 1940s payphone.
Yeah.
What about now? Does it sound better now? Does it sound better now?
Bushido, he's still on dial-up. Okay, go ahead.
Does it sound better now?
No, not at all.
No, he said no.
What the fuck are you talking about? In fact, it sounds worse.
Mike, I'm sorry. My mic is... Anyway.
Sounds like we're chatting over AOL Instant Messenger.
No,
exactly.
It sounds like he's talking over Starlink.
Fine, I'll just disconnect it altogether. How about that?
Yo.
There, that's better. That got better.
All right. Okay. So when I bought the first one on PlayStation, on PS5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I played for like a couple of hours, and I was like, I got ADHD, and I just was like, look, the game is gorgeous, but can I have some stuff happen, but within the next couple of hours? Mm-hmm. Hours, not minutes into the game. So I left it, I lost the disc, and then it came over to Xbox. Bought it again, played it just for a few minutes again, and felt nostalgic and was like, you know what? I'll get with this another time when I don't have anything else to play, because I just can't do it. I'm just hoping, because I'm not going to play. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to play the first one. I'm going to just buy the second one and just hope for the best.
But they say the second one, you lose
by all
something if you
accounts,
don't...
is loads better than the first.
Okay, I'm going to say, like I always say, who's they? When you say they, say who's they?
The people who play the 30 hours.
Lemon.
All the people that got to play it.
No, what I'm saying is, you've got to look at who the source is. If the source, if you look at the source, and I hate this, and this is going to sound wrong, but if they're mostly Sony fanboys who gobble up everything Sony drops, or that the developer drops, they're going to say that.
I mean,
what you need to find somebody you trust. And find out what they think. Don't necessarily go on.
But I find the game divisive, though. The game is.
I don't need anybody's opinion to tell me to get a Kojima game.
Right, but hold on. I was just going to say,
you and
the people I've heard that played it, it's almost universally the same comments.
Right. Everybody seems like they have. It doesn't. I'm with you a little bit, Baldy, but I've found we had spaces on it, and I found it to be real diverse about the guys that play it and the guys that don't like it.
Well, then I would also say for those that say you need to play the first one first, ask them why. Find out why.
No, Paulie, I'm gonna tell you what I've heard. The game is phenomenal. You just don't understand. It helps you to connect bridges to other. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not in it for construction. Like, can I get something to do in the game? Oh no, you have combat sometimes.
Bullshit. It's a metaphor for connecting with people.
No, okay, yeah.
That's literally what I got.
Let me say this. Okay, I do agree with what Paul said, that if you are following somebody who has a PlayStation bias, he or she is going to show favoritism towards the game. I'm not going after that. I go after this guy. Listen to this guy's reviews religiously. His name is Skill Up. He's from Australia.
Oh yeah. He's good money.
He's good. And see, the problem was he liked the first one.
Right.
And I just don't feel I gave it enough a fair shake, if that makes sense. And I'm like,
How long did you play
he
it?
loves the second one, and I'm like,
How long did you play it?
Yeah, but just because he loved the first Death Stranding doesn't mean that you would have had you played it. Like,
Right.
This is true. However, everything else he's liked, I have liked as well.
Listen,
let me answer.
I have friends that when it comes to like movie recommendations, I'm almost lockstep every single time. But then they'll do that one movie where they're like, I'm like, oh, they said this movie's great. Everything else we always love. And I watch it, I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, same.
Why did you tell me it was good?
Same thing.
So I'm just
this game is just it's not for everybody.
No,
I'm not down in the game. I'm just saying about the way how the game is. Like, just like people don't like turn-based RPGs, that is definitely not for everybody. I love them because I came up on them.
The problem is we got two
delivery simulator. That's what it is. And if you don't want to play a package delivery simulator, then don't.
Right.
Because that's what the game is at its heart. It doesn't matter what they do to it. It's a pack. Even the new one is a package.
But you see,
by the way, I don't care how much I think I'm going to like a game. I'm not going to pre-play a 70-hour, 80-hour game before I play the newest game. No. Well, you need to play the first one to enjoy the second one. Fuck that shit. No.
Hey, I went on YouTube to watch like the cinematic scenes.
All the cutscenes, get the Spark Notes version of it. Or even get someone who breaks down
super.
the entire story.
Super. It's like 3 hours long.
I like what you're saying.
The cutscene video I saw was 3.5 hours long.
There are people out there that
to be honest with you, we got two Kojima here, and I'm afraid that if Death Stranding comes and goes, and I don't get a chance to play it, one of them
not going to go anywhere.
It's going to send me a parcel bomb in the mail.
They said they got to play about 30 hours, and of that 30 hours, that was roughly 40% of the game.
What? 30 hours is 40%?
That's not bad because most games are 60 hours.
60. Oh my god, 60 hours.
We're talking about of them just doing the main story, not even like side missions. And shit.
Nah, shit.
Death Stranding 2 is significantly bigger than 1, and Death Stranding 1 was a big fucking game.
Hey, real quick, can I say what's up to Doom?
Yeah, we're still going through it. So we've only got
Retro, my cousin.
Chill out, shut up.
Wow.
Yo, you don't say that to Paulie.
Let me take a pause to say hello to everybody in the chat. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Rich Krishner.
I just did that.
Today. I heard Rich Krishner is going to make a stop appearance, right? Anyhow, let's see. RPG88, C-Step. Thank you guys for showing up, man.
Oh, snap. C-Step's here.
Yeah. All right. So let me go to my next panelist. All right. Cerebral, my man. How's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing, boss?
It's been going. I've been playing a little bit of everything, and I've been playing a little bit of nothing because I've just been in kind of a funky mood. I've just not really, I did a little bit of WoW, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like.
Well, if you want something to do to occupy your time, I got 500 pages of calculus if you need to grade something.
No. See, if you were if you did English or literature, that I could help with. The math stuff, no.
It's really easy. I'll give you the key. If it's not the same number, it's just wrong. So there you go.
Well, I could do that. Yeah, according to the key,
I'll give you the key. I just want to go through 500 pages of it. So there you go.
But doesn't he also have to grade how they got to the
Are you one of them show your work teachers?
Of course, I have to be. But
that's I will say that's always what screwed me up because a lot of times I can look at harder math and I can come up with the answer in my head. But if you ask me to tell you how I got there, I don't know. Honestly.
Bet you cheated.
No. Seriously, dude. I can look at something and I can come up with it, but a lot of times. But if you ask me to show you exactly the steps I took from my head to get there, I honestly don't know. See, because a lot of in my head it comes out as because that's the only answer it could be. Seriously,
Well, you see, this is what we did not. I would call you the human calculator, but with your age, I would call you the human abacus instead.
Yeah.
So.
but that's the way I've always been. That's why I never did well in math in school because it would always show your work. How did you come up with this answer?
Or do it this stupid way, even though you came up I could do it on a graph, and the teacher would be like, "Do it algebraically," and I was like, "I did it on the graph."
even when they were doing that new math shit, I would look at that and go, yeah, that makes no sense at all. What the fuck are you? 2 plus 2 is 27.
How'd you get this answer? I asked Alexa, bitch.
No, the problem is
like a real person.
The good thing about an online class is basically for the entire semester, they pay you free money because you don't have to lecture anything, right? The only negative about an online class is that the students can turn in their work whenever.
Yeah, molest your students.
So these assholes do their work like the day before it's due. So I'm getting like 500 papers of the day before it's due.
Okay, I'm marking you all down 1 letter grade because you all waited to the last fucking second. Period.
Yeah. And I'll get a text message when somebody submits something to Canvas, right? Which is the LMS software we use. And it'll make a text noise, like I'm getting a text on my phone, me and my wife will be sitting and watching TV, and I'll hear, and then she'll hear all of a sudden from the phone, ding, ding, every 30 seconds, ding. Who the fuck is messaging you? You know?
You guys.
I'm like, honey,
Catherine, Susie, Betty, shit. There's a lot of all the women.
Baby, Stephanie's gonna fucking fail and not be on the cheer squad unless I answer this message.
Trust me, if they're doing his college level algebra stuff, most of them probably are not cheerleaders. Okay.
No, they're people who are doing the work for the cheerleader with the hope that one day the cheerleader will sleep with them. That's what it's going to be. So
exactly.
But yeah, I've just been kind of bouncing around.
To my next panelist. All right, Bushido, my man, how's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing, boss?
Good. I've been playing nothing. But. Thank you, Cozy Beluga. Claire Obscura Exposition 33. I don't use this word often, and especially not in the middle of a game. Well, I'm 90% done because there's other content to do. Anyway, I almost never use this word. It is literally a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. It's a great story. One of the best I've ever seen, and the gameplay is addictive.
It's an FRPG, not a JRPG.
Yes.
It's an FRPG. FRPG. See, in a JRPG, when you start a fight, the kids are like, "Let's go!"
CRPG.
But for this one, it's oui, mon chéri.
Exactly.
And that OST is banging.
Yeah, it is good though.
It's very good.
So how many hours you got into it, Bushido? Like,
ooh, man, asking that is like asking low-coming women if you slept with. 3 days. Three days and 19 hours.
3 days and 19 hours.
3 days and 19 hours. And listen, most of it is doing side quests and doing other BS just to keep playing it.
Mm-hmm.
The platforming, the motherfucking platform.
Then it has all these secret bosses, and you don't have to fight any of them. None of them all. But to really get the experience of the game, to really experience what the devs gave you, there'll be hidden bosses on a level, on a biome, and you fight them and you get some other weapon or Pictos, which is like a thing you put into your slot to give you some other ability.
Basically for them. The material.
Yeah.
But you got to fight them. But then if you run, that makes you a bitch.
No, if you run, it makes you French. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
That's messed up.
Damn. Is he wrong?
He about to start another war between the Italians and the French.
I mean, they would lose. Like always. That's their special talent.
Anybody else play it?
See, I was surprised when I found out it was a French person. It was a French developer. I'm like, well, this story, if this really happened in France, it wouldn't happen because they had this lady who is the paintress, right? If it was real French people, they would have given up right then and there. They would have been like,
What didn't surprise me was that it was French devs. What surprised me is they were ex-Ubisoft devs. I'm like, where the fuck did these guys come from?
I mean,
Right?
Ubisoft has always had a lot of talent. Ubisoft is the biggest detriment to Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Yes, she's 100% right. There was a dev that used to be in one of our group chats.
Baby all in your hands? What the hell are you doing? Always putting.
Dude used to tell us stuff about Ubisoft, and I was like, "Yo, what's always the problem with, with games that get canceled? Well, whatever." I went through the whole thing with him. He said the problem is it's not just the management that's running the studio; it's the guys over top. So if you show them a dime that you can make X amount of money by making this game, they like, all right, go ahead and do it. And I'm like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. He said, and then when it takes too long, they get frustrated, they dump it, as you can already see.
Yeah.
He works for Microsoft now.
Yeah, it's when you get the money people who don't give a shit about the artistry, they just worry about the money.
But see, that's also
It
why
shows you though these other
because
it shows you guys they're in studios that are bad isn't really them mostly. You know what I mean? Yeah, most of it's management. That was kind of crazy though.
Pushing release dates, pushing shit in the game, pushing all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
because the suits think they know better. And it's like, dude, you don't even play video games.
Well, even like
exactly.
Cyberpunk released, the developers felt that it needed more time in the oven. The publishers were like, "No, get this shit out."
And exactly, and it absolutely did. And they fucking knew it. That's why they hit all the console gameplay. They wouldn't let them show anything but PC code.
Exactly.
Like they knew on last gen consoles that shit was unplayable.
Right.
And they released it anyway.
They had no reason. I mean, to be honest with you, one could even argue that there might be a legality situation here because they released a known
100% think so.
game.
Like, I'm not upset with CD Projekt Red because they released Cyberpunk Buggy. People release buggy shit all the time. I'm upset with them because they knowingly released a game that was unplayable.
Nova, it wasn't fucking hardware. Buggy. It was unplayable on time's current gen.
Not on current gen hardware. On my PS5, I experienced bugs, but it wasn't unplayable. It was nothing game breaking. It had bugs, but not any more than a fucking Bethesda game.
True.
But on last gen consoles,
PS4, you couldn't even play that shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. On PS4 and Xbox One, it was unplayable.
But if it's game breaking, that's a problem. But at the same time, I'm a super. It kind of opens up Pandora's box if you wind up allowing people to sue because the game came out such and such a way.
Okay, if it came out buggy, that's one thing. No, if it came out buggy is one thing. If it comes out unplayable, that's totally different.
The problem is with that.
Yes, that is a totally different thing. Yeah,
you kind of have evidence that they were trying to do everything they could to not show us the console versions of the game. That's where I think they could get in trouble. I'm not a lawyer, so who the fuck knows? I'm just saying, like, in this specific scenario, like, they went out of their way to make sure no console gameplay is being shown. Reviewers are only going to get PC codes. They're only going to show the B-roll footage that we provide. Oh, and by the way, the embargo is like the day before the game comes out.
Yeah.
Like, these were all how about that? Choices made to not let people see how this game ran on consoles.
All right, let me go ahead and move on to my next panelist. Look, my man, how's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing, boss?
Not too bad. Wize, I've been
I'm playing
in the car
as we speak.
Like what now?
That's pretty much it. WRC. You were talking about no one plays the backlog. I finished WRC 4.
How do you have a more chaotic schedule than me, and plus you have a young kid in tow. Where the fuck is the time coming from for you?
He said, honestly, well, I don't take care of the kid, the mother does.
He sends the kid out to play with the chimpanzee and the monkey. I mean, we've been there. You know?
Right, he gives him a chip to play with. Exactly.
Whenever the child is bitching, I always look at the bright side. I'm like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to wake up at 2 a.m. and put in an hour and 2:02. And literally,
your child is essentially an alarm clock.
WRC, right? WRC, it's a ton of races, but if you put in 2 races today, 4 races tomorrow, 5 races, and then another 1 race on Sunday, it's an entire season in a week, maybe 2 weeks.
He done broke it down for y'all.
I tried playing those WRC games, but they are unforgiving, man. They're fucking hard.
Ruthless.
What games again?
And I fucking love it. I love it. This is proper racing.
Like regular sim racing is hard. No, play a fucking.
Oh yeah.
That shit
This
is hard.
is proper racing. No,
Proper
you
racing.
don't get to the front. You don't get to the front by bashing anyone or trying to, tailgate. You just have to be the fastest. Good luck with that.
Better, faster.
And
Wait. So no, well, you call it tailgating, but it's drafting, and drafting is actually a real race.
Well, no, and in rally races, they release each car a certain time after the last one.
Oh
so
yeah, there is that. Yeah.
And
it's based
as far
on
as
time.
I'm concerned, if you want to race, we're talking about who's the fastest. We're not talking about who can maneuver around other drivers the best.
I miss Outrun.
So I'm playing WRC, and I'm also getting my ass kicked in Kazan. I bumped into this optional boss, and my ego won't let me continue with the main game until I beat this motherfucker. So I'm stuck. I've been stuck on Kazan for a bit, and I'm also playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I won't be sharing gameplay anymore because fuck Nintendo. Fuck Nintendo. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, they've really upset you, haven't they? I keep seeing your post.
Yeah. Fuck Nintendo, bro. That's all I have to say about Nintendo.
Yeah, where did he touch you at?
Shit company. EA makes Nintendo makes EA look like Pamela Anderson's tits when she was younger.
How the fuck does EA look like the good guy?
Right.
After this week's news, I walked away when I saw the news about EA not raising game prices. I'm like, I never would have thought I would live in a world where EA comes out to be the good one, the good guy. I'm like,
and listen, and they could have done it too under the guise of everyone else is doing it. Well, it's an industry thing. Games are more expensive. I was shocked. I actually thought I was another universe.
EA, that's like Take-Two saying, "Oh yeah, we're not going up." What the fuck?
Exactly.
GTA is not going to be 60 or 70. You guys.
Oh no, that thing's going to be 100 base price. 100.
The funny thing was when I saw the news, and as a stockholder of EA, I'm like, why the fuck not? Everyone else is doing it. Shit.
Right to share responsibility, cocksuckers.
Wize, go ahead and go buy your shares at Nintendo. You
I already got shares at Nintendo. What are you talking about?
You vile human being.
Wow.
Dang.
Real quick, everyone. Fuck Nintendo. Sorry, I forgot. Have I told you? Has anyone heard the good news? Fuck Nintendo.
I thought the good news was that we have a Pope from Chicago who eats deep dish.
No. The good news.
That's bad news.
He's from O Block. Yeah, he's from O Block.
Deep dish is gross.
I heard he's Crip. He was Pyru.
Apparently he's Jewish as well. Is that true?
No, I'm Crip. I don't know what they're saying.
Oh my god!
I heard that's what he calls his. I heard that's what he calls his altar boys, deep dish. So
that was gold. That was gold. It took me a second actually too.
Wow.
The best one I saw this week about the Pope was there was a meme, and it said I posted on the DMs. Vatican elects a created in America Pope to avoid tariffs. So
yes, I saw that one too. That's some
good shit right there.
Yo, did you see his record though? Dude has the same record as every other priest. Dude got allegations of touching kids in 19 something.
That's all right.
Yo, I know, but I'm just saying though.
His brother came on TV and said, "Oh, we knew that he was going to be a pope at age 10." I'm like, "What the fuck did you observe him doing at age 10?"
It was the airbending.
Celibacy is great and all, but I don't think it's natural to be like, I'm going to live the rest of my life.
It's not natural, dude.
Without doing anything.
It's not. No, it's not.
Body does naturally.
That's
right.
That's fucking weird.
Or creates naturally, right?
Celibacy is like
weird.
Ultimately the issue with those guys.
Like,
join that sort of organization.
Does he? Does it, Father Steve?
I don't think it's celibacy as much as I think it's just the profession a lot of pedophilics go into.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like basically, if you want to like diddle kids, you go someplace where you can diddle kids.
Exactly.
Listen,
you know what they do? You know what they do? They take
how much God loves you. You're
yes,
attracted
they take
to men or you're attracted to women, and you're gonna get horny. Like
no, that it's not them getting horny. I mean, the Boy Scouts has the same problem.
Because for every Jesus, there was a Mary Magdalene. There you go.
Yeah, you know what it is? Pedophiles like to take any job that the people are supposed to trust you.
Yes. Yeah,
anything with public trust, and they'll play their part. They'll listen. I used to tell people, listen, if a dude's a pedophile and your kid comes and tells you what he did in the beginning was he started taking your mama to dialysis, he buy groceries, he throw a couple of dollars over to pay her electric, and then when the kid comes up and says, "Hey, such and such touched me," she'd be like, "Oh no, not him. You ain't talking about him." That's the same type of thing that they do. They take any job and try to quote unquote do good in front just to get little kids on the back end.
Oh my God.
No pun.
Wait. I'm sorry. No, full Diddy, but that's not what I meant. But you know,
exactly right. These people will they'll get good with the parents or whoever, and they know which children to pick out. They know exactly.
Fuck these parents that when their children make allegations and like, oh no, not him. The first thing I'd be like, who that motherfucker? Okay,
exactly.
You gotta go. We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, you gotta get the fuck out of my house.
AEC Vic, the fact that you now divulge that you were a former altar boy, that explains everything. It explains every fucking thing.
I would take that to the grave. I would take that to the grave.
Yeah, that's not something you should say in front of people.
The next rosary beat up his ass.
Can we?
It's not a rosary beat if
you messed up, Super. That's messed up.
Can we get back to gaming, please?
Yeah, y'all making Paulie feel uncomfortable.
Hey, the priests are playing games with
stop.
With
can we? I'm serious.
All right, let's get back. All right, let me go and keep going. After a long hiatus, my next panel is Doom, my man. How's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing?
What am I here for?
Working. Basically, working. So
you are a man of very few words.
Such enthusiasm.
I don't know what else to say. It's just been working. That's basically it.
What your ass been playing, man? You besides work.
Actually, I haven't been playing a lot of stuff. I've been watching a lot of TV lately. I actually been seeing a lot of stuff on Game of Thrones. I'm like, man, I want to go back and watch Game of Thrones. And I'm like, wait a minute. I never watched House of Dragons. So I'm in the middle of watching House of Dragons.
House of Dragons is fire. No,
but you see, the problem with Game of Thrones, as good as 1 through 4 was, eventually you have to get to season 7, which was an 8, which was a cluster. So
yeah, I loved Game of Thrones. I seen every season that. Sitting here watching House of Dragons, I'm like, this kind of sucks.
Really? You don't like House of the Dragons?
I love it.
House of Dragons, I don't think is as expansive as the main
last
Game of Thrones show was.
The whole thing and all this stuff, it was just like, man, this is getting a little bit out of my, I don't need to be seeing all this shit and whatever. But listen, I will sit there and say this. The last 2 episodes of season 1, I'm like, okay, something got to go on. And then that's when it happened. I'm like, okay, I got to go into season 2. Mm-hmm. And I'm enjoying so far season 2. So,
that shot with the lightning strikes, and you just see that massive fucking dragon. It's like,
oh my God. I had the feeling, I don't know if I'm spoiling it for anybody on.
No, just go ahead.
Okay. So the one kid gets chopped in half or basically bit in half, or the dragon that he was on. I'm like, this is coming. I know something's going to get screwed up here, and this kid is going to take out this other kid, and it's going to fight. big war and all this other crap. So I'm getting through it in that. The wife and I are watching You, which is
That's a good show.
oh my! I'm at the point where they just totally threw it. It was like a sinker. I'm like, what the hell just happened? So we're not.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I ain't finished watching it.
Oh, I have not finished watching it either.
Okay.
At a certain point, I'm not even going to go there. But the only thing that I have played is Titanfall 2.
Thank God.
One trophy away from the platinum.
Fantastic Green.
Thank God. I thought you're about to say that you're still playing through SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm like, thank you.
No.
Like that bikini bottom one.
Yeah, I heard one of those are pretty good.
SpongeBob SquarePants was actually.
Don't get him started.
It's
encourage him.
a decent platformer for like starter game for like kids. It's not terrible.
I think my son platinumed that. So that's it. That's all I've been doing.
Starter game for kids getting in the game.
I do have a question to ask you.
Have a show tomorrow with David. So,
but I do have a question to ask you though. What do you think of their choice of MCU's choice of Doctor Doom being Robert Downey again?
Oh, we did Retro Eye and Game Logic did we did a recording last year, which I'm still sitting on.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow!
I didn't really care for.
Waste of my goddamn time.
I knew that was coming. I think they should have gotten the dude who played Jamie Lannister. Was it Nikolai? I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
I think they should have gotten him to play Doctor Doom. I think he would have been great. Logic actually sat there and said he wanted to get Mads Mikkelsen, but I'm like, well, you can't really get Mads Mikkelsen because he already played the bad guy in Doctor Strange. So you can't really.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was the
so
bad
many
guy in
people
Doctor Strange.
that the list of people to go to isn't very big anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just I'm waiting. I mean, if you actually read the comics, and Paul can correct me if I'm wrong. There was a line of comics where Tony Stark did become Doctor Doom. And
right.
They traded places. I think is what it was, right, Paul?
And if they're following that storyline, that's cool. But they haven't made that clear.
Right.
If to me, even just to throw in my 2 cents on this, because I do, if they're just doing this for stunt casting to get eyes on the film, then I'm not happy because we're talking about especially with everything going on with the possible tariffs of non-American made films and all that. Films are in the same boat as games. Get those budgets down. And paying Robert Downey Jr. money, as much money as they paid him to do this, and we're probably not even going to see his fucking face. You could have put somebody else under the mask. You're
probably in at 15% of the movie.
I'm indifferent to the announcement. I'm not hype about it. I'm not upset about it. But I think it's really going to come down to what is the story and how's it executed. Because if it's a dope ass story and it's executed well, cool. If it's some bullshit and it just says Robert Downey Jr. in a fucking mask.
Yeah, if it's just Robert Downey Jr. for the sake of being Robert Downey Jr., then I have a problem with that.
And I think his characteristics need to be very different from Tony Stark. He can't.
We'll never find out. So
he needs to be a different character, like the character with his mannerisms.
Right,
he needs to be a different person. I don't want to see Tony Stark with a fucking mask on.
Right, it'd probably be a variant.
They're setting up for battle.
I want to see him act different. He's always the same in every fucking movie.
Maybe they'll get him back on the coke before they roll. No, I'm kidding.
But do you think do you think they're going to do that? Do you think they're going to cast Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and then not allude to the fact that he was Tony Stark either prior or in a alternate universe?
No, I think he.
Well, we don't know.
Stark. I think he's going to be a variant. But the thing is, that's the other thing is like the death is supposed to mean something. If Tony Stark died and we all cried and shit in Endgame, and then he's just back, but now he's a bad guy. I was like, that didn't really mean anything.
Not in the comic books.
Right. I agree with Nova. It didn't. It kind of just threw it off. It's like I see. I think it's going the way Paul was sitting there saying. It's a face. Everybody knows the face. Everybody knows Robert Downey Jr. They all love him as Iron Man. It's to get people back into the seats and all that shit. But then you sit there and you read stuff on Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is
kicking ass. Thunderbolts fucking kicking ass.
I kind of thought it would. It looked good.
And kind of like
the idea of them being the new Avengers because I look at that team and I'm these are the new Avengers.
What is it? I've been seeing this, which I would love to see him take the project on, and that's Ryan Coogler do Blade. I mean, he sat there and he said he would definitely do it. Give the guy here's a check. Here's, write your script and get it done. I mean, how long is the
Yeah, but who are you gonna get to play Blade?
well, you
Wesley or
have
nothing.
what is it, Marshall Ali?
No.
He said no, they already worked on that. Only reason why he left the project is because he kept bumping heads with the writers over what should be done with Blade, and so
I
just
honestly doubt they're going to get Mahershala back unless they pay him money, because this man has put his career and life on hold, waiting for Disney to get their shit together, only for it to fall through time after time after time.
Exactly. Yep, it happened multiple times.
It's like a battered wife at this point. It's like, oh, you're not going to hit me this time, sweetie.
I don't know who they're going to wind up getting. Somebody good. That's all I got to.
Well, what do you think about this female Silver
Wesley.
Surfer?
Wesley can still do this shit, and for the shit he can't, give us a stunt double.
No, Wesley's like 67, man.
Well, Wesley can still. You saw him in Deadpool.
Yeah, but he
was there for 2 minutes, dude.
he didn't really move. So I would love it though, but
if they can make Luke Skywalker come back, they can make Blade. That's what I got to say.
We do a CGI one or AI one.
No, they at this point they probably just need to fucking reboot Blade again.
Yeah,
or just fucking get rid of it.
I would do AI one. I would do AI.
Well, there's a whole that's a whole thing that SAG is going through with the AI shit. So that's
that's going to be one of those things.
Bring Blade in now. They've brought vampires into the MCU, and how's that shit gonna work? We're bringing mutants in and vampires at the same time, or vampires just mutants. Like, shit's gonna get crazy.
Somebody was, or I forget what publication it was or whatever, on Twitter. They said the guy who directed, I think it was Schreier or whatever his name is, he's going to be directing the new X-Men movie. They have him.
The guy who did they want to tap the guy who did Thunderbolts to do an X-Men movie.
So
that hadn't been confirmed yet, but I saw the same rumor.
But I saw something.
I thought it was the brothers that did Endgame. They're doing it.
No, I think they're doing
the Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
Doomsday,
and I think they're supposed to oversee.
But is Secret Wars and Avengers coming out before the X-Men?
Yeah,
X-Men.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It really depends, because there's still all these projects are years and years out. They're not even
like Secret Wars. Yet, so I remember Secret Wars had in the comics. I had Wolverine had a pivotal role. How are they going to do that unless they first introduce Wolverine?
Well, it's MCU. It's not the comics. Just like in Civil War, Spider-Man had a pivotal role that didn't exist in the movie.
Right.
So I mean,
the Cavalry. They got to get him.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That would be awesome.
Cavill look good.
But I think he just started doing Highlander, right? They just started getting.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
How is that?
Also, isn't he doing a fucking Space Marine?
It's not out yet.
Yeah.
They talked about that too. Yeah.
Space Marine.
He got a lot on his plate.
They're actually doing a Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
Warhammer fanatic. So he's like,
they've been talking about that for a while now. Yeah.
No,
you guys ever see that Guy Ritchie movie? Was it the something Gentlemen where they're in World War II?
Oh yeah.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No.
With Sean Connery.
The new Gentleman movie. Gentleman something Warfare or something like
that. The Gentleman Robbers.
It was Henry Cavill,
Guy Ritchie.
And then it was a Guy Ritchie movie. It came out like a year, maybe 2 years ago. But it's in based.
It's just called The Gentleman.
That's all I'll say. But it's based off of kind of like a true story or true shit that happened. But you sit there and you see Henry Cavill as Superman, you're like, Jesus Christ, this guy's huge. And then you go and you see the movie with him and Alan Rickman in it, and you're like, Jesus Christ, Alan Rickman is even bigger than him. And then you go and you watch Jack Reacher, the new season of Jack Reacher.
Yeah,
that guy
love
is
Jack Reacher.
That guy is an oak tree.
That guy's a refrigerator with
That guy is
eyeballs.
gigantic. That guy, and of course, go back to Game of Thrones. Everybody knows who the Mountain is, and that guy's even bigger than the Mountain.
Yo, he is ridiculously big
Wall?
as a human being.
Yep.
Or Bjornsson.
Yeah.
The problem with Bjornsson, that poor man, every time anyone sets a photo of him or takes a picture of him, somebody in the comments of that photo will always put this picture of a little hamster trying to eat a big banana. So
they just weep for his wife's vagina. That's all.
Because his wife is like really short. I mean, I feel sorry for that woman. I mean, I swear to you, God.
I'm sure she don't.
Yeah, she probably wants him to get a side chick.
At this point in time, if she ever gets pregnant, that little baby's just gonna slide the fuck on out.
Either that or it's gonna be like an alien chest burster. Holy shit.
Yo, Paul, why was I thinking the same thing?
He's gonna hoverboard.
I was just about to say it.
Baby kicks is gonna fucking dislocate 4 ribs.
He'll skate his way out of that motherfucker. It's like, hey, baby, I'm here. All right, let me go to one of my guests tonight. Well, not really a guest. He's a panelist who's a guest who's a panelist. I don't know what the fuck he is. I don't think he even knows what the fuck he is. Retro, my man. How you been doing, my man? How's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing?
It's gone all right, man. Working as usual, but kind of a mix of things at the minute, mate. Forza, I grabbed that. Oblivion. What did I start? I started that Star Wars Outlaws there the other day. I got that on sale, so
nice.
It seems okay, but I haven't put much time into it yet.
Forza?
It's not bad.
Yeah. I bought Horizon 5. What else did I get?
Now, let me ask you a question. If you have it on the Series X, is the upgrade for I'm assuming you're doing it for the PS5 Pro or just the PS5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the Pro upgrades worth the buy-in price?
But are you talking individual? Because that's how a lot of people kind of frame that question as like individual games. But I play a lot of games.
What I'm saying is, look, okay,
but Wize, unless you're looking at both side by side, the differences are going to be imperceivable unless he's playing them and looking at this TV and that TV.
No. The reason I'm asking him is because he is a resident, like with Loke. In fact, I think Loke and Retro might be the same person. I don't know, but anyhow, they both like both like Metal Gear. They both are into racers. I mean, I've seen Loke on camera. Retro, on the other hand, I don't know. So,
Retro, get your shit together, dude. I will not abide these rumors that we're the same person.
They both have an accent. They're different accents, but they have accents.
I think we've all acknowledged, Wize, that unless we had Digital Foundry around, no one would know the differences between the versions.
I couldn't tell you that. Jumping from, say, the Xbox version to the PlayStation version, I would have noticed like a difference. You would definitely need to see them like side by side and shit like that.
This is your genre of choice. Do you think the upgrade was worth the buy-in price for what you got on the Pro versus what you had on the Series X or whatever?
Do you mean in terms of the price of the game or in terms of the price of the Pro?
No. The price of the game, because the game.
I was fine with the price because it came with all of the content that's been released. So on Xbox, I played the original release and finished it, but I never got any of the DLC or anything like that. So for me, it was worth the price simply because I got 2 awesome sets of DLC and a shit ton of cars.
Because you got the DLC and the cars. So in that case, the upgrade is worth it. Yeah, absolutely. Even I'll say that if you're getting stuff that you didn't previously have for that small little price bump, more to it, baby. There you go. You're set.
Now, but here's the $1 million question.
Hot Wheels expansion, all that shit.
But here's the $1 million question: if Forza Motorsports finds its way onto the PlayStation, which I don't see why it wouldn't, unless Sony stops it for a reason. Do you think it's going to eat GT's lunch?
But even then, I don't think it's ever going to come because of that, because it is a direct competitor.
That is the only reason I don't think it might
also,
come.
I think if it did too,
it would find an audience, but I don't think you're taking Gran Turismo fans away from Gran Turismo, regardless of what gets released. It's just
Why?
it's so entrenched. There's just a very, very, very loyal fan base to Gran Turismo. I mean, it's constantly over 10 million sold for every release. But I think it was 6. I think Gran Turismo 6 sold like 6 million. There's like a really, really loyal fan base there.
Yeah.
And you're just not, I don't think you're going to pull them away. I'm not saying they wouldn't go onto that game or they wouldn't purchase the game, but I don't
They wouldn't
think,
do one as opposed to the other. They wouldn't do
I don't think they would actually harm each other, man. I really don't. I don't. But again, just my opinion, man.
Also, I think if Forza Motorsport were to go over, it wouldn't be the most recent version. It'd be like they did with Forza Horizon. It would be the previous version. It wouldn't be the current one.
What do you mean?
Horizon is the current version.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Forza Horizon is the 5 on PlayStation.
I thought they were one version behind on Forza Horizon.
No, it's 5. It shows
It's an
the real
actual
rating.
game. It's the one that.
Oh, okay. Then I misremembered. No big deal.
I mean,
but still, what I'm remembering is because Forza Horizon is not the most recent Forza release.
Mhm.
Okay, it's the previous release. It's the previous Forza release. Now we have Forza Motorsport. If it were to hit PlayStation, I don't think it would be before they release a new Forza something on Xbox. In other words, they're gonna
wait till the next iteration of Forza before they release the prior Forza.
If they do, yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think so.
I don't know if it would be version for version.
It just won't be day and date. I think they're going to.
Yeah, I don't know that it would be version for version, especially day and date. Yeah.
No, I don't think they're going to do anything.
But I do think the fact that Forza Motorsport is considered a direct competitor to Gran Turismo, that Sony would be like, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. So.
Well, see, I don't know because there's a set of Forza 2.
I actually like Forza better than Gran Turismo.
So do I, and because Forza has some great accessibility options for me, I can play Forzas. I can't play Gran Turismo to save my life. So
Gran Turismo has those like the Japanese way of doing menus and shit that I hate the way that Japanese games do their menus and stuff. I hate Gran Turismo's menus, and it's gotten better, but I always hated the way the cars sounded in Gran Turismo. I always thought they sounded like shit.
But Retro, you have
Forza had like turbo noises and blow off valves, and popping exhaust and shit. When Gran Turismo was still like me.
But Retro, you are also in that fan base that you were sort of alluding to. You are a hardcore GT fan.
Just fucking logo, for God's sake.
I'm a racing fan. Full stop, man. I will play all the racing games, man.
Would you? So if you had to
Gran Turismo 7 would be my main kind of online multiplayer kind of game. Full stop. Regardless of, I don't play loads of online games, but that would be my kind of regular online kind of thing.
So you feel that both of those games can coexist on that same platform?
100%. A set of courses coming, you know. What was the other? There was another kind of semi-realistic kind of.
Was it Drive Club? Was it? No, it wasn't Drive
Club. No, Drive Club was more arcade. I can't remember that. Yeah, but there's been a few kind of more kind of simmy kind of racing games on PlayStation. So I think there's definitely a market there for it. It's just whether MS actually wants to put in the effort to fund a port and get it over. I think it would do well.
Supported to anyone who's willing to take it. That's what I'm thinking. But I mean,
if they were to release it, I would buy it on my PlayStation. And it's nothing more than that's my preferred system to play on. And if Microsoft want to release more of their games on PlayStation, I'm more than happy to give them money for them, man. Not a problem.
No, but it's just like there has been a dialogue going on that the problem with 10 or Motorsport coming to PlayStation is the very existence of GT. They believe that Forza might cannibalize GT sales or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a racer. I'm at best a casual racer. So I can't say. I mean, but you know, and so
if you're a racing fan, if you got one game and another one comes out next year, you grab that one too. I don't now if it comes out in the same year, that's
that
where I
might
think
be
the
an
problem
issue.
comes.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Long
they
as
were
it's
to
not in
bump
the
at the
same
same
year.
time, yeah, that would be an issue.
Absolutely.
Because then people are being made to choose. Then you are
Yeah,
putting people
yeah.
in a
Right,
position.
exactly. Because most people who play, like say, fighters, or well, fighters might be a bad example because no, okay. So if you play certain games like that are niche, the race to the sim games and the fighting games,
Mhm.
people like to like master that game, so they will play that thing all year.
But I
And
was thinking about this though. PlayStation doesn't own Polyphony Digital, so they get their 30% of whatever the Gran Turismo sales are. So whether
right,
they get 30% of Gran Turismo sales or 30% of Forza Motorsport sales,
Whoa,
why would PlayStation matter?
Polyphony
Yeah,
Digital
Sony,
is not an internal
Polyphony,
development.
one of Sony's oldest developers.
Digital is not PlayStation first party. I'll double check that though.
Yeah,
No, they
I
are.
want.
They are. They're
keep
one of
Pierce back
Sony's
on.
oldest. They're one of
Yeah.
Sony's
Okay.
oldest.
It's like
And
one of the
in fact,
first ones.
in fact,
corrected
Kaz
then.
goes all the way back to help design of the original PS1 controller. Kaz was in that team.
And wasn't it like they did something with the RAM upgrades for the PlayStation 4? Like it had lower RAM, and then I think GT, the guy who is over Polyphony Digital, told them to like up the RAM in the 4, and they upped the RAM more than what they normally had. I think it was a story like that. I don't remember exactly, but I think
I'm trying to think if that was more of a Gears of War thing, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I remember Gears.
Triple.
Yeah. Hey, come on, this.
Triple.
So let me go to my next panel. It's Triple, my man. How's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing?
Trey, we're an hour and a half in. We're just getting we're not even done with the.
No, but we're talking about comics. I'm not
We talked
saying
about
I'm not friend. I'm not
pedophilia.
saying something
Right.
Wait.
You have some wild subjects, man. Anything out of context on the show, you'd be like, "What?"
Look, this is about a whole bunch of folks going to a bar and drinking and shooting this shit, and it's just a random conversation, just to be having a conversation. That's all it is. So yeah, go ahead. Go off topic.
Yeah. So my week has been one of those. It's a good start, and it's a damn near terrible ending. So I don't want to expand on it, but has some semi-serious stuff happen. But I'm here talking games. I'm good.
Hey, I'm about to say, yeah, you're right, man.
It was some family related, but they're okay. So then some work mess came up, so it was just like a pile on. But I got to see an Attack on Titan concert yesterday, so that was awesome. But I got stuck in Chicago traffic, so that sucked. But doing good. Playing some.
Did you see the Pope while you were there? Did you wave? Did you say hi?
Yeah, he was.
You wave with one hand, cover your booty hole with the other.
Triple I'm being the altar boy for that Pope.
I'm missing something. The last thing I heard about the Pope was he died or something like that.
Oh shit!
So
the new Pope is from Chicago.
Resurrected as a man from Chicago.
You know when you were an altar boy and that bishop that you sort of talked about.
Oh, stop!
The Pope died when he rose from the coffin and went, "The bears."
So okay.
Remember when we were having that little that one-on-one, unloading Triple's childhood baggage, and you were talking about this guy who.
Yeah, the conversation's out of it, baby.
Stop. What's funny is I actually do have one friend that knew him when he was Bob before he was. Yeah. Well, Robert's his real name. Robert's his real name.
Oh, fuck that! I'm gonna call the Pope Bob. Pope Bob.
Well, that's what's got to be interesting. If you knew him before and you see him, wouldn't that be your default just by not your eminence or whatever because you know him?
But
what makes this interesting though is this is the first American Pope. This is the first guy that some of the people we know may have known the guy.
Yeah, but that was because
it's also going to be interesting with the cultural differences are no longer there. So when Trump says something, Bob's going to definitely know what he meant. Okay, but
right.
I jokingly said, Trump said he's happy this guy's in there. I'm like, Trump may not be happy when this guy starts doing stuff the Chicago way. It's like, it's like he ain't gonna fuck around.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
There's not going to be no translating to Italian or Polish so the guy understands. Bob's going to look him straight in the eye and go, "What the fuck, man? No."
All right. Last but not least, Cozy. How you doing, darling?
Pretty good.
Tell me about you. You have any traction on the game Midnight Walk?
No.
Have you seen it?
No.
Really?
No, she's been playing something from 1993 from some indie developer. So, you know.
Oh, shit, that's a play motion game, isn't it?
Hey, I've been playing a newer-ish indie game.
Newer-ish. Something from 2002. How about now? Yeah. I'm at least in this century now. All right, yeah.
Oh my God.
This game had 16 colors, not just 8.
Salvation Army.
I do. I play modern games.
So, what game have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Slay the Spire. And
Ooh, nice one.
I play a lot of Slay the Spire. That's probably my most played game right now. I've been working through Turnip Boy and Dungeons of Hinterberg.
You said Turnip Boy?
Wait, which Turnip Boy? Which Turnip Boy?
Robs a Bank.
I did not like that one. I did not like that one.
I don't like it. Has literally I'm enjoying it because I enjoy repetitive tasks usually in games.
And that game is very repetitive.
But I feel like my issue is the map sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, why even have a map? I'm actually less upset if there was no map at all.
It looks like a Zelda game where you play as a fucking vegetable.
You play as a turnip?
No. Turnip Boy in that world is like a nuclear event that happens and all people are gone. And like all that's left is anthropomorphized vegetation and
Turnip Boy commits tax evasion or whatever it was. That one was fun. That one was fun.
I like it because he's like literally the most chaotic protagonist in any game ever.
Only you and Paul would play a game called Turnip Boy.
It was on. They were on Game Pass for a while, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
And in some cases, they're easy achievements too. The first one, where he commits tax fraud or whatever. I mean, you go talk to somebody. Yeah, I have this thing, and you rip up their receipt achievement, because you get points.
Was it the strawberry that gave you the love letter?
Yeah.
Her love letter.
Yeah, they're fun little goofy games. They're fun little goofy games. I mean,
It's like that one PlayStation game where you're
now,
the fucking
I'm done with this topic thread. Yeah, let's move on. Let's get we're talking about a
wait, you can talk about other shit, but we don't. Okay, no, whatever.
Right. Paul's like, as soon as we get to something I want to talk about, but no, pedophilia and all
that. How in the fuck did I know Paul wanted to talk about turnips? What the fuck?
Well, no, dude. Yeah, you're not even bothering to. Never mind. Just.
I thought it was Turn Up Boy.
What type of gameplay is it? Honestly, all jokes aside, it seems like
the one she's playing is very repetitive because you're trying to. You go in, you rob a bank, you're trying to collect as much money as possible to move up to but it keeps you. You will get caught. So you have to go in and do it again, and it stacks up over time. Like I said, I didn't enjoy the Turnip Boy robbed a bank as much as I enjoyed the tax evasion one, because the tax evasion one was more wander around and do quick little tasks.
You're trying to, you're inadvertently trying to take down the evil mayor, Onion Mayor.
Okay,
but it is extremely repetitive.
It is,
and it's a lot of.
It is a good thing that you two play this game, and it's a good thing you two.
A lot of people played the game, dude. Seriously.
No, it might be a good game. I just am saying one of those. It's one of those games I would never ever get to because first of all, there would no one.
I got to be back. I got to go turn on the porch light for a delivery that's coming over. So hang on, I'll be back.
Getting stuff.
Yeah, she's his escort.
Yo.
Get some.
All right, okay, let's go ahead and move on to our first topic. So, all right, this week, the biggest news.
Hour and a half in.
Hour and a half in.
Right.
GTA 6 has been fucking delayed till May of next year.
Oh, I'm crying. I'm not.
Same.
Right.
They released the trailer. That shit looked fire.
I got plenty of stuff to play right now.
Oh my god!
People said they ain't gonna play. I don't understand.
Oh my god!
How?
I don't like
Right?
GTA.
Exactly.
I don't like Rockstar games.
Of the
No, you like Turnip Boy,
467
so
million views.
Only part of this conversation.
Of the 467
I'm
million
kidding.
views, one of those million is mine because that's how many times I masturbated to her fucking ass. I'm talking. I went
Yo, facts. I was like, listen, I know for a fact that like, listen, Bill, I know we put you on those horse testicle physics in Red Dead Redemption 2. You feel awful about that. We know you spent 7 months just sculpting and animating horse testicles. But listen, we got you. We got you in GTA 6. Lucia's ass, all you, buddy. All you.
Oh my god, that ass was for days.
Imagine being the person that got that job.
Yeah, and I want every part of that ass. I want it all ray traced, and I want all frame
You said
generation.
ray trace and everything.
When you watch the reaction to that trailer, that's always the scene where people are like, "I'm sold." Like all this amazing shit.
I got that
watch. The second you see Lucia's ass in that gold sequin dress, people are like, "Oh, that's it. I'm getting this game." Every reaction.
Hey, Lucia's ass is what the pisser architecture was meant for. You want to piss all over that ass, man. I'm talking about it.
You so creepy, Wize, man.
Hey, as long as it's not, Lucia's not an altar boy, so it's all normal. Okay, go ahead.
Listen, there are going to be unknown millions of hours spent by dudes gooning in the fucking strip club of that game.
Yeah. That shit. That game.
You even had Neil deGrasse Tyson say something about it too.
That shit, I don't understand how. Obviously, it said that it was captured on PS5, and according to Rockstar, some of what was in the trailer was gameplay. But dude, I don't think I've seen an open world as densely packed with shit, and not just shit, as densely packed with AI people doing things and birds and this and that, like where it's. I don't understand how this shit's gonna run. Like it definitely ain't gonna be 60, which is fine. But how is it gonna hit 30? I hope so.
Think it's not gonna hit? Do you? But
there's no fucking way that's hitting 60.
Even last night,
30. It's gonna be 30.
But you see, Rockstar is called Rockstar. At least when Dan Houser was running that shit,
right? But they've never released a Grand Theft Auto game at 60. They're
not only that.
I don't think they've ever released a game at 60.
But there's not the CPU.
Or optimize it.
You need a good CPU.
If it's all CPU bound, then the PlayStation 5 Pro is gonna have a hard time.
We're talking about
simulation.
What? PlayStation Pro has a shit CPU too.
Yeah.
Not to mention it's going to have day and night cycles, weather systems, fucking all kinds of simulations running in tandem.
At this point, I just want it to be smooth. Like I don't explore smooth 30, consistent 30. Let's say I don't know, smooth and 30.
Yeah, it'll be smooth 30, I bet. But
well, I'm sure it'll be because that's what, and maybe that's what they needed the year for, to make sure the shit runs at like a decent. Because I mean, from what we've seen, that shit looks like it's pretty much done.
Yeah,
but again, it's just a trailer that could just be a vertical slice. But I mean, and honestly, this trailer, everything looks better than the first trailer. Like even the character models look upgraded versus the first trailer, right? So all I know is that, listen, I didn't have to see shit when they said GTA 6 is coming. I was like, yes, please. If they say, hey, GTA 7 coming, I'll be like, yes, please. I fucking love those games. So, but these trailers, they got me hype as fuck. They look incredible.
Well, I mean,
I think it was a bit of a fucking dick tease on their part, you know, knowing it's a year away and then releasing a trailer like that.
It's like when your girl's like, listen, no pussy, but I'll give you a handy.
Yeah, here's the smell.
No, but here's the question, right? I'm thinking that I was very suspicious about this game coming out when they initially announced the release date of that thing in the fall.
I think most people were,
because here's the thing.
The second trailer or anything.
No. But here's the thing. They've been almost suspiciously quiet on GTA Online, which is their bread and butter. GTA 6, yes, but GTA we don't know if there's the same. They're just bringing over the original GTA Online, or they enhancing GTA Online, or anything.
Where it's like delayed 20 million times.
GTA Online right now exists in the San Andreas, whatever, Los Santos map of GTA 5.
Yeah,
If there's
but
a
are
new
they
GTA
pivoting that?
Online, it's not going to exist on that map. It's going to exist on the Vice City or
Are you talking
whatever
about
that state's called map.
they haven't spoken about it? Is what you're getting on?
Yeah, they've
about?
not said a word about their online offering. They've only shown just snippets of
The
in
single
game
player
of GTA
portion.
6.
I got you. If, I
Because
mean,
it's going to be a
honestly,
cold turkey cutoff to a new
Yeah.
GTA Online, and they don't want people to stop buying their shark cards and spending money on the existing GTA Online. Just
yeah,
whip
and
back
if
a
anyone
tower.
remembers how GTA 5 multiplayer went, that thing was delayed like several times, or was it the heist missions they kept delaying and having to push back? And
I think it was both. I think the original mode was delayed, and then it took a while for those heists to come in.
And did they patch in those heists later or something or what?
Yeah, the heist
Yeah,
became
they came
better.
later. Yeah,
Maybe they're also a bit hesitant because the Red Dead 2 online fucking came and went. Fucking nobody gives a shit. Nobody plays
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
So-
when you got the choice of horses or like
Well, yeah,
Lamborghinis and
obviously, like
yeah, I was never into the Red Dead games, man.
You want to play the one with the rocket
Oh, they were
launchers and
great, man.
and motorcycles
I
and
couldn't
shit
get
like
into them,
that,
bro.
so.
I tried.
or do you want to be a bounty hunter in Wild Wild West?
I'm gonna be
The first Red Dead
Western
I
fan,
thought was
so
a better game than Red
Oh
Dead
well,
2,
that's
personally.
understandable.
But here's the thing. Okay, did this announcement piss a whole lot of people off? Because we know for a fact that up to August, all of the game we've been stacked with games because these publishers have been running scared of this game. Now that
Yes.
they push this fucking game to May, which I don't think is even going to release in May, I think they're going to push that even further into October.
Well, anyone who's pissed off about the delay can shut the fuck up. Like if you tell me you're disappointed about the delay, understand me too.
No, I'm
But
talking
say I'm
about
pissed
like
off about the delay.
I'm talking about the developers and the publishers. How much? When are we going to get the floodgates released?
You got a year release, so if your game doesn't have a release date for next year, GTA already has theirs on the table, so just maneuver around it. Unless they're expecting.
At least they gave us a release date
available.
down so people can figure that shit out.
But are we going to be seeing games that have now been pushed up as a return? As if GTA 6 is coming out in May, and developers have held their games because they wanted to avoid it. Now that it's in May, if their developer was going to make it in May, are we going to see an onslaught of games in like the tail end of this year and the first part of next year, or what?
I would think so. If that was the case, if they were waiting to see what Rockstar was going to do, yeah, you would start. You would find out. I bet you during the summer presentations, everybody for the show. Yeah,
Game Fest. Yeah. Okay. Well,
See,
I mean,
the real reason they delayed it is because they saw that Borderlands 4 coming out. That's like, well, we don't want the smoke.
we don't want that smoke.
We don't want the smoke of that samey lukewarm response to it.
Okay,
hey, what was the controversy that was going on with Borderlands 4 where people were boycotting it?
They are?
As Randy Pitchford, you know.
They just don't like him and his
fucking everything every other day. It's like, don't you people have fucking jobs? Like, I'm on disability, so I don't. But for everyone that's not on disability, go get a fucking job.
Go out and touch the fucking grass for a change. Come on now. It's like, oh, man. It's like it's kind of the whole fucking Hogwarts situation all over again. It's like, do not play Hogwarts because it's
that shit pissed me off.
What the fuck?
I know where
like if
you're not going to tell me whether or not to play a game.
Then don't. But don't take away my ability to play the game.
Harassing people over that shit, and
exactly, yeah.
Run over the motherfucking toes.
You can feel the way you feel. Just don't bother nobody.
Yeah. Z-Steph says if it pissed people off, then they don't know how AAA publishers work. I called it it was going to get delayed and pumped, and I called it right. Okay, so yeah, he called it that.
Yeah, he did call it. I was in a party with him.
No, but GTA has Rockstar is known for their fucking delays. The fact that it was coming out in the fall of this year, and they've been like radio silent about their online offering, which is their primary source of income.
That. We were 3 months into 2025 and still had a release window.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. I actually felt the same way with Ghost of Yotei because they've been real quiet about it. And so when I got hearing that it got gold, I think, meaning the game's almost done, I was shocked and still am because they didn't really.
It's not Ghost of Yotei that went gold. It's Death Stranding 2.
Oh, Death Stranding 2. Okay. I'm still shocked though they was talking about it coming out this year. I hope it does.
DualSense, though.
I really hope it does. But if it doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, but here's the thing, okay, with Rockstar. If you've not talked about the main reason you're releasing the game, they're not releasing this game because they want to sell GTA 6. I think they're releasing this game because this is the next basically variation of GTA Online.
Rewind that. They're releasing this game not to sell GTA 6.
Well, and they want to move all the GTA Online people from the prior variation to the current variation.
GTA Online is what really.
I want to say I get what you're saying, but I'm just like GTA 6
because that's their consistent revenue stream. Is
no, I get it, but like GTA, even a single player component, like it's going to push copies in.
No, I mean it's going to sell a shit ton.
They're going to make $1 billion easily just on the sales of the game. Fuck GTA.
Yeah, but they're going to
get a massive influx of cash with the release, and then they're going to get a bonus kind of jump when that online goes on.
I checked the other day how many copies of GTA 5 sold. Guess, Wize, how many copies of GTA 5 is sold?
How many?
Guess. Throw out a number.
GTA 5. Okay.
Hey,
I would say close to
answer that. I'll answer that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
A lot. You're welcome.
That's really the best answer.
Go ahead.
It's like a whole lot.
Half of the all-time sales of Call of Duty.
What's the all-time sales of Call of Duty?
All-time sales of Call of Duty.
Over 500 million copies.
That's pretty fucking close.
GTA
They're at
is close to 250 million copies.
Oh.
That's insane.
I mean, is it? I mean,
that's over 3 generations, though, man.
I mean, not just
still though. The game is still being selling.
No,
that's
not just that, but before
70 million copies a generation.
They also
but don't forget as well. A lot of those copies that were sold were cheap versions with shark cards. People were buying them because.
Remember when they did the remaster? When they bought the remaster, people rebought the game again too.
Not just that, people wanted the multiplayer. People wanted the multiplayer.
$70 a rip.
Right.
Wanted the multiplayer.
Oh, it's really impressive. I don't want you to take what I said as some kind of slight. It's impressive as fuck.
Oh no, of course.
Cozy, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, people wanted the multiplayer. A lot of people wanted the multiplayer. They didn't care about playing GTA story after a certain point. It wasn't until they decoupled the multiplayer from the game.
Okay, so to push back on that, and to agree actually with what you're saying, okay, I am a GTA 5 fan, GTA 4 fan. I like the single player component. I am not a GTA.
I do too.
I'm so old.
Yeah, well, I am old. You're fucking. If you don't think I'm old by now, you've not been paying attention to the assignment.
Yeah, why you always disrespecting the seniors?
Because
I don't understand that.
I'm saying in current. A more current trend is people.
But that's what I'm saying. So
we didn't really ask though. So
last night I was on Crossfire, and they all on the panel agreed that it was coming out in 30 frames per second. I pushed back and said I think they're going to push 60 frames per second for 2 reasons. Number one, I can't speak of the current Rockstar developers as they are now, but I can speak of the Rockstar developers under Dan Houser. They call themselves Rockstar because they like shitting on all the other developers. GTA 3 was fucking phenomenal because those goddamn cars.
Even at 30 frames, GTA 6 is going to shit on everything on the industry and the realization of a fucking world you're going to be able to live in.
A live
Red did do the same thing too.
Cyberpunk thought it had a realized world. It's not going to be shit compared to GTA 6.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, remember with GTA 3, right? When the motherfucker first came out, those cars follow the traffic lights, signals. Those people were walking around. I mean, it was fucking mind blowing. Like what people were doing.
As someone mentioned earlier, though, a game like that, I'm sure it's going to be very CPU heavy, and these consoles not terrible, but to do 60, like. I don't. I mean, I would love to be proven wrong. Maybe they'll have like FSR. That's like it looks like it's running at 360p or something like that, just to finally get it up there. But I I don't think it'll hit 60.
It depends on how much memory they burn up.
30 frames, and GTA 6 looks like a significant upgrade over Red Dead 2 in multiple ways, especially for Red Dead 2. For the most of the time, you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere with nothing. GTA 5 is going to have hundreds of NPCs and vehicles and animals and birds.
I actually disagree with you a little bit, Super. I got lost in that game, hunting, fishing, like the side quests, running into freaking bears.
Like there isn't going to be a single place. Hold up, there isn't a single place you go to in Red Dead Redemption where you've got the amount of NPCs, vehicles, and all kinds.
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and that's the shit that's going to be.
Gotcha. Understand that. My fault.
Bending the CPUs over. I'm not saying that there isn't a lot to do in Red Dead. I'm just saying.
No. I got that's my bad. That's my bad.
And open
the only reason his ass got stuck doing all those shit because it's because his fat ass is too fat to be able to do it in real life. So he might as well do it in a virtual world. So there's
you got a point there, though. Now I'm not a developer or anything like that, but seeing how even Starfield has issues, I know that's probably not the best one to look at, but even like they're struggling with even newer games or games that came out earlier this gen. So that's where I'm just like, even like Dragon's Dogma 2 was struggling to hold 60. Now that could just be poor optimization, but
I think it's incredibly unreasonable to expect 60 frames from that game.
I don't think it's incredibly unreasonable. I think it's a requirement for them because the problem is,
it depends on games. Yeah, it depends on the GPU, and it depends on how much memory they eat up. If they eat up a lot of memory, good.
No, but let me say this. Who on this panel is looking forward to GTA Online?
Not me.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Nobody on this panel.
I'll play it for a while, but I'll fall off it.
I mean, I was really big into the original.
Playing foo-foos.
So, I mean, if I have friends that are trying to play it, sure, but I wasn't even big in the original. You know, after a while, I had somebody.
So let's go down. Let's do a roll call here. Super, do you care about GTA Online? Yes or no?
0.
Okay, Retro.
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, but take it or leave it, kind of situation, shit, right?
But yeah, play with friends, basically.
Yeah.
Cerebral. No. Don't give a fuck. Okay. Doom.
No, I'm actually closer to Retro. I will play with friends if they play, but I won't.
But it's not what you're looking for.
You got friends?
No.
Yeah, like if friends want to check it out, I'll boot it up and check it out with them. Okay, I'm not like, oh yeah, GTA Online.
I'm about to spend all my hours fighting strippers.
Strippers are definitely getting it. They're definitely getting it.
Yeah, I say that with as many
the ladies of the night, they'll be getting used and abused and then killed, so I can get my money back.
Ladies of the night.
Money back.
Dude, are you interested in the online component?
50 bitch.
No,
he's not interested in online. Triple.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'll check it out. My friends are checking it out, but I'm not.
Yo, y'all be hearing the stuff Super be saying underneath his breath.
Fuck that. Up in the head.
That's a simple dude.
Do you care about the online? You're muted.
You're muted, Cozy.
I don't care about GTA. Why would I care about the online?
Okay, cool. Bushido, do you care about the online?
Only if I could go to strip clubs and throw like nickels, quarters, and dimes at strippers.
Then yeah, but you want to do that in a game?
Now the question is,
I'm just saying.
Now, if you're going to throw the change, do you want to take it out of the roll first, or just lump the entire roll at you?
No, I'm gonna take it out the roll first. Yeah, I'm gonna take it out the roll first. That way I can stay there longer. If you let me do that, I got it definitely 100%.
All right, Loke, do you care about the online component?
I want to know if they're going to put the Kanye West song in there.
Which one?
Yo, that shit is a bop too. I can't even lie, right? And I cannot sing that chorus. Like, doubly, I can't sing that. I'm wrong. Yeah.
Oh, this is a new Kanye song?
Yeah, I haven't heard. I forgot about it.
Bro, the chorus is a proper catchy little tune, right? I don't know whether it's the tune.
Wait,
or
we're talking
word.
about we're talking about the Heil Hitler song? No.
Yeah, but we can't be singing, bro. Paul, me and you, especially, we can't be singing that at all on 2 Frank.
Paul, have you heard it? Have you listened to it?
Of course,
Yeah, I bothered to listen to it. Yes.
You said a few times.
So we can take inventory. Nobody on this plane will give us a fucking care about it.
I'll tell you real
No.
quick why. Like I personally don't like these online versions of the games, especially like the Elder Scrolls Online. I fucking love Oblivion. I love Skyrim, but you get to the Elder Scrolls Online and it takes all that gameplay and it strips everything away and makes everything more grindy. And it's like
I felt like that with a Fallout online game.
Yeah. I mean, but no, everyone don't get it twisted. I don't care for the fucking online either. However, we are a one-time buy to Rockstar.
Oh,
that SOB that's across the hallway who's playing GTA Online as we speak, that is their customer.
Oh yeah, dropping 9,000 a year.
Who lives across from you, X-Man?
My son. Okay.
Here's
the thing.
Well, I looked it up again. GTA 5
watch your tone around him.
Made $9.5 billion since it launched.
Yeah, but a lot of that is from the shark cards and stuff too.
Oh yeah, that's why.
It doesn't matter how they made the $9.5 billion. Yeah.
There is
over 10 years, so $1 billion a year, give or take.
No, but there is a sizable population of kids or of customers or of gamers whose the only GTA they really know is the online component.
That's the same thing with COD though.
Right.
You got kids that only know COD for the online.
Problem. GTA Online is 60. GTA 6, now that they're going to release GTA 6, these kids are like, oh, okay, I want to play GTA 6. If they make GTA 6 30, those kids are not going to go to that. They're going to say, this is bullshit and go.
The kids aren't going to notice the difference, dude, unless you play
it. These are PC players. What do you mean? I mean, PC or console player. What do you mean they don't know?
They're not going to go, oh my God, that's only 30 frames per second. Okay, you point me to a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I agree.
About frames, doesn't give a resolution.
I mean, if anything, they're probably on PC trying to get
the entire
Rockstar Studio.
Mom and dad will buy the game for
the average young gamer doesn't know. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they sure enough don't.
They
Nope.
play fucking Pokemon Go on fucking iPhones. You think they give a shit?
If they're playing GTA,
how many Timmys are out there playing?
60.
No, they aren't. They don't care. They absolutely do not care.
Listen, Wize. I know a couple guys that do podcasts, and they've been doing podcasts for a while. And I had to actually help them understand the difference between 30 and 60. And these guys talk about games all the time. And they didn't know what they were looking at to be able to see the difference between 30 and 60. They was like, no, that's the same. I'm like, no, it's not. So I don't, no kid. No kid is going to know that at all.
They may complain. They may say something at some point if somebody points it out, but it's not going to stop them from playing it.
You need to tell me visually tell the difference between 30 and 60. Are y'all saying that? Are y'all?
Yes. I'm saying that.
You know what? Wize, I bet a lot of times that, especially when you're watching streams and stuff, you can't tell the difference until somebody points it out.
Okay, when I'm watching a stream,
a lot of people, if they're just booting up something that's 30 and they haven't played 60 in a while, they see 30 and then their mind just gets acclimated to the 30. And it's fine. And it's not until they go back and forth immediately between a 60 and a 30 or switch performance modes to see the difference where they're like, oh shit, 30 sucks.
Dude, Retro, look, are you hearing this shit? Are you agreeing with this shit? That you can't tell the difference between a 30 and a 60?
Grand Theft Auto isn't a Call of Duty. It's not an Apex or Marvel's rival. So if you have people that do care about 60, it's not like you need the snappy precision and quick turn time and all that, whatever, just to really be able to play the game like that.
And even if so, they wouldn't care. They still wouldn't care.
1080p and 4K in a screenshot.
What do you mean they can? I can't play games in 30 anymore because they feel like they're.
No, listen, you're gonna be playing that one at 30. You're gonna be playing that one at 30.
And that's the thing you gotta.
So Wize, do you? So you don't play any games at 30?
No.
So if they're 30 only, you go, nope, not playing it because it's fucking 30.
No.
You got a son next door.
He got you on that one, Wize.
I don't like it anymore. Okay,
no,
ever since
I like enough to play the game.
Frames per second. Remove this filth from my presence.
If you really didn't like it that much, if it really bothered you that much, handle business and not play any 30 FPS game.
Yeah.
If you play a 30 FPS game, you can't say, I don't really like it because you still bought it and played it. You obviously did not like it enough.
I'm gonna call you out if I find out. I'm just let you know that.
He's playing GTA 6 day one. Don't even let him.
I know he is. I know he is.
Be a part of that booty, man. Shit.
I believe him for a second. Give me a break.
See that fucking ass? I mean, I'm not seeing an ass like that in 20 years. Come on now. Sorry.
All right.
20 years. That shows you not on Instagram. But, I mean, anyway, go ahead.
The ass needs to go in the x-axis, not the y-axis. That's all I got to say.
Well, you know why it goes the way it goes. You know why the crack goes the way it goes, right? So when you go down a slide, it go.
I've never heard that shit. That is fucking funny. I'm stealing that shit. God damn. Add that shit to the collection. Fuck.
Right?
Oh, fuck. This game is coming out at $100. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
I 100% agree. And guess what? I'm still paying for it.
I ain't even gonna make a face or nothing. I'll be like, please, yes, master.
Yep.
Give me that.
I'm like, here you go.
Yeah, I was talking to someone at work about that. I was like, "Yeah, man, games are up to $100." Like, I'm still probably gonna cop GTA though. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I honestly think they should charge $200.
Oh no, you do that. I'm out.
Now you feeling yourself too much. Then you forget yourself.
They could ask more than 100 and probably still get it. I think.
Absolutely.
No, I agree.
Now I may be the outlier, but for me, I'm not into it enough. I won't buy it day one for $100.
If it is 100, I got so much on my plate now, so we'll see. We'll see. I like Red Dead 5. I don't like it.
Real Gamer is the same way. Like he's not a big GTA guy, so he thinks it looks good, but he's not like super hype about it because he didn't like really GTA 5. So
I mean, I like.
There are some people like that.
Yeah, like I like GTA 5, but I didn't even beat 4 and shit. I was like in between.
4 was the only one in the franchise I didn't care for.
I haven't even finished 5 because at one point you're playing the white guy, the rich guy, and you've got to build up his endurance by jogging around the city. I ain't doing that shit.
You can't play as a rich white guy because he doesn't know how it feels to be rich.
No, that was annoying though. I mean, just and the whole time he's running, you have to do the triggers in a certain rhythm to get him to run correctly and shit.
Is that 4?
Yeah.
And 5?
I thought it was 5.
You don't do that in 5. There's no.
You sure?
Yeah.
I must be wrong too,
wasn't 5 the one with the rich guy and the hood?
Well, none of them were ever rich until like the end of the game. Nico Bellic was.
I mean, yes, you were a fucking beast playing Trevor, weren't you?
I love playing Trevor. Trevor's fun.
Trevor is crazy.
Trevor's my favorite character. I gotta say,
he was fucking asleep on the railroad tracks in his underwear, and I'm like, what the fuck with this?
Yeah, or up in the mountains. You'd switch to him, he'd be in the mountains.
A whole lot of shit. I wonder why you like playing as Trevor. I don't know.
Trevor's a wild dude, man.
Man, I just hope I don't have a with Red Dead 2 because I still haven't beat Red Dead 2 because I couldn't get past that damn opening. I'm just like, bro, how long is this opening?
Oh
no,
yeah.
Once you get out of the snow stuff and get into the it's actually a really great game.
Yeah,
one of the best narrative stories I have ever played.
Yeah, same. And one of the greatest endings. Top 3 I've ever played.
Okay, so is that game gonna come on the Switch too? Is that shit?
Yes, after they've established some type of streaming partnership or something like that, and now you can stream it like they were doing like Resident Evil 7 or something.
I don't know that Nintendo is going to be cool with the amount of violence that's going to be in that game on their
console. I think they care less with the money they'll make.
Holy shit!
Oh yeah, no, they will not care. They got freaking what's that? No More Heroes
on the original Switch.
Yeah, No More Heroes.
Yeah, the whole dude about wanking his sword to charge it or whatever it is.
Right.
They're not above it if money's coming in.
All right. Okay, so anybody else have any traction on this topic? So GTA 6 delayed till next year.
Well, we know Expedition 33 is going to be Game of the Year this year, so there's that case coming.
Expedition 33. Those French are like,
oh yeah, I guarantee you that Keeley's board was like, shit. Now what do we vote for? Okay, now we have to actually look at the list of the other games. Holy fuck!
If we're being fair, they got either Ghost of Yote or Death Stranding. They're still coming out this year. There will probably be nominees.
Yeah, but some of those guys are going, you mean I actually play a game? Motherfuck.
The developers are clear.
Yeah, I don't take for granted the game's going to be great till it is.
Get the French, get the champagne escort going, beignets. We're winning this bitch.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
So we got this.
Yeah, they were popping bottles when GTA got pushed.
Right.
We are not going to be invaded. We're actually going to win for once.
You know what? I ain't got. I'm not gonna ask anything.
He's like, what the croissant?
Oh mon chéri.
A question.
Oh man.
Would you like a little Perrier with your croissant? With a little lemon in it. With a little lemon in it.
Goes to Paris. Do not go to a bakery and say your fucking ass wants a croissant because you're gonna be fucked. They're not going to serve you shit until you say croissant. I was like, I want a croissant.
Listen, they don't give you enough food that even a toddler will want to eat or enough to
I
eat.
will go there and put on a
Everyone knows
pencil
you're supposed to do it
mustache
the
and be the
French
most
way and just
stereotypical French asshole, and not give two fucks about it.
You gotta smoke.
You go there for their victory celebration. They're all waving French flag. You got a stick with a white flag on it.
I'm gonna wear a little sideways beret on my head.
This ain't it. I thought this was it. They told me this was a French flag.
Fucking slapping people on the ass with baguettes.
I don't know. All bullshit aside, I literally thought that's what's gonna happen in the game. Like instead of giving somebody a healing potion, they throw a beignet or something. Shit. A handful of escort.
I forgot who over on the round table chat room on Twitter said that they're gonna have pride parades in the game. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's true,
in GTA or
yeah,
well, it's fucking South Beach. Of course they're gonna have that shit.
Bro, they're insane if they're doing that. Like I told them, I'm like, bro, they're gonna
brightly signposted fucking groups of people.
What
in GTA?
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna. Of course, it's South Beach. It's basically
It's gonna.
Yeah. At that point, they've made a hate crime simulator, dude. Those clips are gonna be all over the internet. People are gonna do it just to be assholes for fun, dude.
People are gonna drive through that mother. No, people are gonna fly into that. People are gonna ride a fucking helicopter and chop off.
And then videotaping that shit. Like that's a terrible decision if they chose to do that.
Oh, I wish they do. I wish they do.
I mean, does it matter?
Listen, I don't care.
I'm with Cozy, man. I think fuck it, it's GTA, man. They live off controversy, innit?
No, I mean, but the thing is, that's not going to matter to them probably, except for extreme outliers. You know why? Because they're used to people being dicks. You know.
Well, what's going to happen is this: like
when you're used to people being dicks, you expect the worst.
A guy did a burnout on a pride flag they put in a what do you call it? Crosswalk with his truck, and they fucking charged him with a hate crime.
I mean, that's like
what they do.
Well, if it's
but that's not the regular people. People didn't charge the hate crime.
Of course, it's not the regular people, but the ones that are going to make all the noise, that always make all the noise, they're not going to be cool with seeing shit like that happen in the game.
It won't matter because money.
I wonder how realistic it's going to be. How many do they have ICE in there, and they're going to have deportations there?
Who the fuck knows?
Oh shit! They have the gay pride parade, and ICE pulls up and says, "Half you motherfuckers got to go." Right. You know, so there you go.
You can dance, but you can't dance here, cocksucker.
Shit. This is really real. Wow, this is like real life. You know,
I think there gets to a point where like parody's cool, but like, I again, Cozy disagrees, but I think that it is a poor decision. If that is true, I think it's a poor decision. It's going to fucking piss off a lot of people.
Well, if it's meant to piss off a whole lot of people, then Rockstar is definitely going to implement it. For a fact. I mean, come on now. That hot coffee's mod. Oh, nobody was meant to see it. Bullshit. Why the fuck did you put it in the game? What are you doing?
And then leave it in there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you couldn't access it unless you fucking basically debugged the goddamn game. It wasn't like you booted up the game and it was accessible.
Yeah, but that run sequence was programmed into the game. That means
but I mean, again, I'm not trying to defend them, and I'm not a developer, but I know that there's a million things in the games that are left in the games that we just don't see. Like, how many times have you fallen through a map and then you see there's entire levels built under the level in the game that's not a level you play? They just kind of left it there.
Yeah, well, because maybe it interferes with something else that happens in the game that causes more problems than
who the fuck knows? So I'm not saying they put it there on purpose or not. I'm just saying, like, there's a good chance they just accidentally left it there. Either way, probably wasn't the smartest thing to have it. But I mean, to be fair, God of War was doing that shit.
Yeah.
Kratos was sitting there with two bitches, and it was like circle, circle, triangle, triangle, penetrate, penetrate. Oh, here come the fucking green orbs.
Man, the green orbs. The Aphrodite sequence, that shit was on point. I love the Aphrodite sequence.
Two lesbians were like rubbing the nipples, just watching, like, oh yeah, get it, Kratos.
Aren't they related?
But by asking masturbating Lucy, I can
very
masturbate
Greek
just
way.
about anything. Go ahead. That's why I buy so many dual senses, because they
That's what was wrong with 2018 God of War. It was missing titties.
It was.
All of it, yeah. Like, there was no sex game, so I was sort of disappointed. I thought that you and Freya were going to be a thing, but apparently that didn't work out. So, yeah.
I mean, he had the cock block of all cock blocks with him, man. What's he meant to do?
Exactly, that little fucking piece of shit. Shit, I tried so many times to get his ass off, it was not even fun.
There's a point in that first game where you want that little bastard to die. Yo, fuck this little bitch.
Motherfucker,
What did you just say?
go the fuck away.
What the fuck did you just say to me, bitch?
By the way, if it was really the Greek or whatever and the kid walked in, they wouldn't give a shit. They'd keep doing it. What do you want?
They incorporate the kid.
Come here, learn.
Hey, son,
That's
come on,
the
join
Romans,
us.
Wise. You're confusing the two. That's the
Romans.
No, that was
and actually, both the Greeks weren't. The Greeks weren't far behind, dude.
The Greeks would have been two dudes.
No pun intended. No, not far behind. Sorry. Hey, I gotta know myself. All right. Okay, that's GTA 6 in a nutshell. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the next topic.
In a nutshell. That was quite a nutshell.
We better move on before we get
demonetized.
All right.
Oops.
Okay, so yeah, two of the three major pillars of Xbox has finally moved to PlayStation. We already had Forza. Now we have officially announced Gears moving to PlayStation. Gears Reloaded. Yeah.
And notes from Sony is like, I want to do that. I want to make another Gears of War remaster, remake, master, remade, whatever shit. I don't know.
This was an interesting one. Like, I was expecting a lot more like vitriol on Twitter, and there wasn't. I think it was really much quiet. Nobody really said much when it came to the game coming there.
To be honest, though, a lot of the volatile Xbox fanboys have moved to, instead of being like upset that their games are going, and now it's the pony, you're paying for our games. So now anytime anything goes there, that can be the narrative they take. So
dude,
it's not hurting me.
I'm seeing people like, oh my gosh, I thought Xbox games were trash. What happened? I was like, come on, guys. Yeah,
dude, it's a 20-year-old game, literally 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who's on Xbox or PC has probably played it
multiple times.
So why the fuck not?
I mean, I agree. I totally
agree. Why are people getting like
right? Even if they do it with the original Halo, which will also be 20 years old. So what?
I mean, honestly, at this point, Paul, I'm going to ask you legitimately. Seeing that this is now going to PlayStation, do you think the E-Day is going to be exclusive?
I think. I honestly think the way they've been going, it'll probably be a timed exclusive. Whether that's going to be 6 months or a year or whatever.
At the very least, I agree with that. I think that this now tells us that E-Day will be at the very least time exclusive, if not day and day. But the thing is,
I don't think it'll be day. I will be surprised if it's day and date. But if it is at the same time, I'll be like, okay, that's where we're at.
Right.
You know,
but the thing is, just like with PlayStation games going to PC.
Right.
Like, oh my God, this game went to PC. It's like, no shit, so did the last 5. Why are we fucking acting like this is a big deal?
Because
Xbox can win a PlayStation.
Your history with the system doesn't matter. And
well, you have to understand
it's not like this is the first time it's happened. Like we're seeing the pattern of it happening and happening more often, just like with PlayStation games going to PC. So when it happens, it's like, yep, kind of figured.
And you know the funny thing is this, right? The only feathers this ruffles is us old ass gamers.
Not me.
But I mean, young kids, I don't care.
I mean, like the new generation, they don't, as long as they can play the games. But
and that's why they also have to get them as many places as possible.
Yeah, since it's changing.
But I'm an old school. I like my console with exclusives. I don't care about the multiple machines. I'm just
but even if every game they release from now on went to Sony day and date or went to Nintendo day and date, doesn't change the fact that you're playing the game. It doesn't take away from your ability to play the game.
The problem, though, is like, well, what's the point of the console at that point? Like, if you already invest into it and you can get the games, well, then you can just go to PlayStation, specifically an Xbox.
No, I think
then you don't get Game Pass.
No, that's true.
And a lot of people, is that going to be enough to warrant? And of course, this is their money they got to worry about.
Well, honestly, I feel like it's usually the first party exclusives that are the best showing for those games because they are made specifically for a certain set of hardware. And yeah, they're ported later on, but like the game's made specifically for Xbox hardware and it shines because there's like PlayStation games that are made specifically for PlayStation hardware. They shine because of it. I think that's the case when it comes to first party exclusives.
But see, Xbox hasn't been like that for a long time since underneath the hood of the Xbox is a Windows machine.
Yeah.
Period.
It just goes back to, again, I understand Game Pass is definitely a selling point for them, but for the concern is definitely if the games are going everywhere, like that has to say there's some type of writing on the wall. Like even if people are going to buy Game Pass for Xbox, how many people are going to do that? Where it's like, hey, I'm not playing every single Xbox first party. PlayStation has their own.
Point, it's no different than PC, right? Because with PC you have multiple GPUs, multiple CPUs, so it's like you buy whatever the hell makes sense for you. So if the games did go everywhere, you buy the console that makes the most sense for you.
Yeah, but the problem is that if I can play on PlayStation and get PlayStation games, you can damn near get everything unless it's exclusive to PC and Nintendo. Like, why would I get Xbox?
I think the PlayStation hardware is ugly. I think in a lot of ways their architecture, their software.
No, I get what you're saying, but on average, how many people are looking at that, especially if they're already the leading developer? And if they're, I guess the easiest way is this: if Microsoft is already behind in console sales, by putting your games on PlayStation, that's not going to do any favors for you. If anything, it's just going to make things worse for them. And it just goes back to what people have been speaking about for generations up to this point. Like,
you're also still thinking like a console gamer. Gamers are not growing. You are increasingly old.
I get that. So, I get that. I'm just speaking from the perspective like
everyone's talking about the Xbox losing numbers, but PlayStation isn't making up. Those people are not going to PlayStation.
No, I get that. No, like, so I guess the easiest way, especially is for everyone asking who cares and why is it a problem, just look at the generations of why this was important to begin with. And the change of tone now that is happening, I just don't understand where it's like, oh, it's great. Like, no, there's a reason why people were championing exclusives to begin with. There's a reason why people are saying, hey, Microsoft is finally get these developers under their wings so we can actually have games for the console. And now that they're going everywhere, we're all suddenly like, oh, well, I'm not going to say all of us are, but some are just like, oh, I don't see the problem now.
Because you're not trapped to the hardware. Okay, you are not trapped. That is the future.
I got to ask, let me ask Cozy something. What? You're saying that people from Xbox are not going to PlayStation?
They are not. They are largely not.
Then how comes that report 40% of
40%? Yeah.
No, but how much? But PlayStation isn't gaining those 40% of people.
No, it is that then
a PlayStation.
Yeah.
40% new people bought a PlayStation.
Yeah.
No, but those are 40% of new gamers. Those aren't 40% of. So
how do you know they're not?
Yeah, how do you know?
Well, how do you know they are? Is the question then?
Yeah,
at the same time.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Reading some stuff this week. Call of Duty came out in Game Pass last year, right? There was an uptick with people playing Call of Duty on Xbox. Now all of a sudden it's starting to drop.
because we have other things to
PlayStation
play.
active users and active participants is actually rising. It was 2 years ago, it was at 6 million over Xbox. It's 10 million over Xbox now. These are hard numbers. I'm not understanding where you're getting your numbers while I'm reading these numbers. So who's wrong? Who's wrong here? The numbers, or you?
Those aren't all the places. That's not covering
honestly,
those numbers.
At the end of the day,
literally
ultimately,
feel like
but how do you
where
know
the
that?
new gamers come from? It doesn't matter where the new gamers come from.
Yeah.
As long as you got new gamers.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
The last thing I want to say is if I get what Cozy's saying in terms of like that's why the reason PlayStation even putting their games on PC is because the numbers aren't growing for the console space. But again, when you're looking specifically by platform, even if the overall console market isn't growing, that platform is still shrinking in numbers. And that's
next
the thing that people
year,
but it's never going to be apples for apples though, because PlayStation has always but PlayStation has always had a bigger player base. Period.
No, I get that, but I'm saying like we can't. If we look at I'll just put it this way. Of course, PlayStation and Xbox aren't always going to be neck and neck. It was just a 360 generations. But I can't see how we can look at the numbers and say, yeah, Xbox just isn't hitting the same numbers. Even from the Xbox generation, Xbox One generation to now, like the numbers are just dropping over generation over generation.
Their hardware is trending down now over 2 generations, correct?
And in fact, I would say this much: I don't think Xbox as a box.
I don't think Microsoft want to make hardware. Full stop. I won't lie to you.
No, like if they gave up on it, like at the end of the day, like as many of us here, we play everywhere we can get our hands on. I'm just speaking from
play the game. We don't give a fuck where we play.
I'm just speaking from the perspective of people are saying, hey, what am I doing with the Xbox console going for? If less people are buying a console, what does that mean for me in the future, in my library, et cetera, and so on? Like for me, I'm just like, all right, fuck, I'm just gonna get a PC, a better PC. It was nice having the Series X.
Honestly, I'm sure that they would love to just release games everywhere and not have to spend millions and millions on R&D for new hardware.
Yeah, I mean,
sell them at losses at the initial, start of the generation. I'm sure they would love that.
Yeah, because
I also think if they just did that, like if they cold turkey their user base off of consoles, I think it would piss them off.
Yeah, and it's just not a great look. I know it's not a lot of games skipping the platform.
I think we forget that Microsoft don't really give a fuck about pissing customers off.
They need to ease those people into a new system so that they can still make money off of them.
Yeah, so I'm curious.
They've shuttered so many things, internal businesses. It's not even funny.
Yeah, Windows Phone completely out of nowhere, shit like that. They just don't care.
I'm curious.
Let me throw this out there too, and everybody on this panel knows this. But neither Xbox or PlayStation, you want to sit there and say they haven't grown or they're not selling in that, and everybody's hoping about GTA 6 next year. Well, I would sit there and actually point to maybe 2-3 games, the reason why nobody's buying consoles, and I would be sitting there saying the same thing. Why do I need to do this? Fortnite can run on a PS4 and an Xbox One. Apex can do it. PUBG can do it. Minecraft can do it.
Fortnite can run on a phone. You don't even need a console.
Exactly. So why, as a parent, if that's what your kid is playing, why are you going to upgrade? Nobody's going to upgrade if they can still play. It will be 20 years.
I agree with all of that. I think consoles are archaic. You're not going to get anything pushback from me. I think consoles are an archaic device for old people. I
agree. I agree with what you're saying.
I am old. I will totally agree with you on that one. I don't agree with everything with Cozy, but I will definitely agree with that. I do not.
The issue is that our infrastructure for internet and access is not there everywhere. Those of us who live in highly populated areas or whatever, decent cities, we got great connections. But when you start getting out into the middle of the country, just in the U.S.,
Paul, I'll put it to you this way. My buddy who I was doing videos for or videos with and that, he lives 45 minutes up, going up towards Pennsylvania and that. He doesn't even have, I think I have, I'm outside of Philly. So I got like 1 gig of internet speed or whatever it is. He's still in megabytes.
Oh, ouch.
He's 45 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
Comcast is the only company that is allowed in that area because they bought all this land. They won't allow Verizon, DirecTV, nobody. And they're keeping
Comcast is fucking them over because Comcast fucks everybody over.
Yeah.
Well, all the different internet and cable providers do that. They have contracts for certain areas. Comcast has that area.
I mean, if you have
when you get into Wisconsin, it's Charter.
We have we have options here, so I can.
Yeah,
I don't even live in a huge city, and we have options.
And that's it.
Yeah, but not every place has those options, and even when they do, if you're far enough off of the base, then you're still going to get a shit connection.
Yeah, and then there's some places that aren't getting fiber wire or any of the good.
Yeah, if you go to like a mom and pop, when you go up towards Reading and that. There's a system service or something like that. You're like, oh, you know what? It's not Comcast. It's a different provider. No, they get they go through Comcast to get through it.
Yep.
And they upcharge you a little bit more, so they make money off of that because they're getting ripped by Comcast.
That's the same way all your power companies work, by the way. Yeah. They all ride the same lines. It's just you get surcharged up the ass for the local company.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you all this then. Okay.
No. Okay.
If this is the thing, right, with them going there, what does this mean about their next hardware offering? We're not talking about the handheld. We're talking about their next set-top box. Whether that is a Steam that allows you to do Steam on the side or side load Steam games or not or whatever. And that's the point. If these games are all going everywhere, who is that console for?
Hey, Wize, let me jump in here real quick because this goes for everybody on this panel on that. Okay, and this is good. Was going to be a question for Retro and David tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We all see on Twitter and that. I sat there and said to something Retro yesterday, 1.5 billion for Forza Horizon 5 sold. Indiana Jones is sold really well. Whatever other games in that. If Microsoft's games are selling really well, just not on PlayStation, but Nintendo also, if they're really selling good, why do they need to make any other hardware?
Well, I can answer one reason. One reason is you have legacy customers who have bought games from the Microsoft store. If they can't play it, where are they going to play
it? At this point now, who do they cater to? Because this generation, they took the approach of, okay, we'll make the most powerful machine. We'll also make the most budget-friendly machine.
Mm-hmm.
And still saw reduced interest in their console over the last generation. Mm-hmm. So now for this next generation, who do they make the console for? Do they make the budget option, which obviously if they were, that's probably the smart one. It's the one that sold the most. Or do they go for the power again? And is that going to change anything going into the next generation?
I don't think so.
You don't know the answer to these.
No, I will tell you the answer. I think number one, the new console is not going to be subsidized. It's going to be minimum 700, maybe much, much more. Number two, it's going to sideload. It's going to allow you to sideload with Steam. And it's only meant for a very protracted population base.
But
it is for those individuals who want.
You're better off getting a PC.
No. Well, some people don't want to be bothered with it.
If they make a simple solution for people, then
yeah. Some people just want to be like, for example, me. I don't want to sit there.
I'm 100% that person. But if they're making it a Steam device and it's going to do all the same shit a PC is going to do anyway, and they want to charge $800, $900 for it.
Yeah, but I still think that Xbox is going to relegate itself to an OS. So you guys don't understand. Xbox has never been more than a rounding error for Microsoft, and that is what Microsoft wants to keep.
We all understand that. You guys,
what I'm saying is that Microsoft has used Xbox as a way of diminishing their tax burden. Okay, because Xbox has always shown a loss in that, and they've taken those losses off of their taxes that they owe, and that's what they wanted and that's why they separated Microsoft Gaming from Xbox. Now, that being said, if they're going to make this console, right, I believe it's only meant for one subpopulation. It's for those individuals who want to play on a console, do not want to be dealing with a PC bullshit, and are not really married to any of the PlayStation offerings. Especially nothing that would interest them day and date. Now, is that a very subpopulation of a subpopulation? Yes. Is it a population that you might even question why even make a console for such a niche population? Yes. Because Microsoft, just like Google, doesn't mind axing things and changing things at the last minute if need be. So I don't believe Xbox is long in the tooth when it comes to hardware. Microsoft gaming is going to be different, all the same. But I don't think Xbox has.
Well, there's the other side of it too. There's been rumors that they could license out the rights to make the Xbox hardware to other companies who would then basically you'd be getting a clone of some sort.
Well, no. Then Xbox becomes an app, does it not? It basically,
not if it's tied to the hardware. If you're saying okay, we're gonna sell you rights to use what we use inside the Xbox and to make whatever box you're going to make, you're going to end up with clones like we didn't. And remember in the PC era in the 90s, there were clones for everything.
Right.
Nothing was, everything was a clone that sort of kind of worked with your stuff. And maybe sometimes it didn't because it wasn't 100%. And the other thing is
Steam boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's going to be the next iteration retro of Steam boxes. I think you're going to have a box that has Steam and Xbox app on it.
And then there's
this is my only drawback on the Steam on Xbox is how does that benefit Microsoft?
That is another next question. How does that benefit Microsoft?
And the other side I was going to mention is they've now made it so that I can play every game I own on Xbox digitally from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you can already see that they're kind of pushing away from the home hardware thing. And they've been doing that for the last couple of years. We know that.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can play it on my LG TV, I can play it on my Samsung TV, I can
but
wherever.
I personally feel that Microsoft is not comfortable in the hardware space. They never have.
I don't think it's a matter of comfort. It's a business thing. And it's like I keep
seen success in hardware.
Hardware is expensive and it's only going to get more expensive.
But just developing the hardware is hard, and expensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they're not comfortable though. They've been one of the major players for fucking decades.
But also by the fact of by putting it on Nintendo, by putting it on PlayStation, they're spreading out the audience. And I'm only paying $20 a month. But those people, they're paying $70 a game,
But here's the thing, though.
But see that's all money for Microsoft. Be it my 20
you say they're not comfortable in the space. Meanwhile, they lasted 3 times as long as fucking Sega, and no one said that shit about Sega.
Remember when Sega had $80 games?
Well,
I remember when Nintendo had $120 cartridges.
I also have a feeling that Ultimate Game Pass is going the way of the dodo. Because in order to utilize Ultimate Game Pass,
I think they'll use Game Pass to move as many users as they can onto PC.
I don't see why they would get rid of Ultimate, because you play on console, you play on PC, and you can stream it.
But here's the thing: you can only capitalize on Ultimate Game Pass if there is a box.
But we know there's going to be a box for the next probably decade, dude, of some sort.
Unless they get rid of streaming,
TVs.
Unless they get rid of streaming or make streaming its own exclusive tier, that's the only way to play Xbox Game Pass 3 of the cloud.
I play on PC. I use Ultimate because I prefer streaming.
What I think they're going to do is they're just going to have Game Pass, and it's going to be the same whether it's on PC or their whatever console is.
I mean, once they're done with,
if you're saying they're just going to drop the name of Ultimate and then keep the service the same, sure.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to do, because I think they're going to merge PC and Ultimate and make a hybrid.
Well, Ultimate is part of PC already. Ultimate is everything.
You know what I'm trying to say? Those individuals who are now only buying PC, they will not. They will have to buy whatever their next iteration of Game Pass is.
That would kind of be ass though, because you have people who only want
they won't
PC
do that.
Game Pass, and then you're just increasing the price from it.
They know how PC people would drop it.
Yeah, why would I pay an extra $20 if I just want
PC people are not like console players. They don't just tolerate it.
Well, and the other side is too, they have information that we don't have. They see the numbers of what's being used where. as far as that goes.
Yeah,
They can look at my Ultimate account and say, okay, here's where he's playing games. He's playing on his PC. He's playing on his Xbox. Is he using cloud at all? Okay, he uses cloud maybe once a month. See, they have all those numbers. They can tell, on all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't even so, yeah, for me, at least when it comes to Ultimate, I have it for PC Game Pass, and you need it for multiplayer as well. So again, Game Pass Core. So I haven't streamed it in a while now. But if they're getting rid of PC Game Pass and putting it under Ultimate, you're just increasing the price for PC players. That's literally all you're doing for them.
And they would just drop it.
But still,
yeah, they'll reject that shit.
Look, but going from 10 to 20. You mean to tell me if you like Microsoft games, okay? If you like the games Microsoft publish, $240 to get all of their games day and date on is not enough.
I like cheap games, Wize. I'm not a Microsoft diehard. I like cheap access to games. That's why I play on PC.
Yeah. Like, I get what you're coming from, Wize, but even then, they'll probably start to have people, okay, how many of Xbox games am I really playing for me to start to have to, because if you're up the price now, you're really starting to ask the question, am I really using this that much? $10, that's fine, whatever. People might have to
and even then, even if they do go to 20, and a lot of people said, oh, I'm out, all it takes is that one game that they go, I really want to play that, but I don't want to pay 70 or $80 for it. Mm-hmm. They will jump back in,
If they put their entire back catalog of COD on Game Pass and they up the price, I guarantee you there will be
why would anyone give a shit about old Call of Duty games when the new one's the new hotness?
A lot of people are like nostalgic about, oh, you remember those Call of Duty or Modern Warfare 2 days and new tubes and juggernauts and shit? Like, that's the few people you're gonna grab.
Again, that's another one where they have the numbers. They know how many people they have playing those old games. They know how many people they have playing those old games.
Yeah, but even then, it's just like you gotta is small. Compared
to everyone getting affected with the Game Pass increase, like it's not a good trade off. Like, yeah, you'll have maybe, let's just say 100,000 people interested in Call of Duty, but then you have like 500,000 people who are like, bro, I don't care about them. I just want to play Game Pass, and you open it just because you put the catalog in there. I'm out. Like,
oh, Vic, for real. Yeah, I think it's like the PC crowd is not. They aren't, going to just tolerate whatever. They are not. So you have to walk a delicate dance with them, or they will just go elsewhere. Okay, they have options.
They'll sail the high seas.
But wasn't PC Game Pass like even cheaper than the original console Game Pass before they replaced it with Core? Like, wasn't it cheaper then in comparison?
It was. I think it was. I don't remember because I never had PC. Because I've had it since it like launched.
Doesn't Ultimate give you access to it?
I went immediately to Ultimate.
It does. So, I mean, before their shift to Game Pass Core, they had like PC, or they had Game Pass Console. And I'm trying to recall if it was cheaper, if they were the same price, or if PC was the cheapest between console, PC, and Ultimate. So,
no, PC was always cheaper.
Okay, yeah, and that's the point I'm trying to get at. Like, with the PC crowd, they always had to make sure it was the cheapest of the tiers because, as you said, people on PC just really wouldn't tolerate it if it was even more expensive. So, you're already trading that line, and even if they put more games in the service, you're just gonna have people start asking if they're really utilizing it that much versus 70 in comparison. So either you're signing in for a month, or you're just like, hey, I'll drop 70 here and be done with it, and play something else. Go to Steam where they get like sales or something like that. Just wait for a Steam sale to come out, then I'll play it.
Well, I know for a fact, either way, they have lost they're not even feigning interest in the console anymore. For a company to do what
and Phil has made that clear the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He said we're not gonna compete with Sony on that level. He said it. Yeah. So it's no big deal.
You can't out console Sony.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's like you're gonna out console these guys. It's just not feasible. But
right.
I mean, it's just one of those things. And to be honest with you, like I remember from the longest time, even as a kid, the console wars were always between two consoles. It's recently now that it's gotten to three. So yeah.
But it's not between three. What are you talking about?
Well, Nintendo, yes, but
see, I still don't consider. I still don't consider Nintendo a console on the same level as the.
Whether they want to or not, I think that's
they're getting
left because
paid
they're
by
the
the
only two
FTC.
consoles left.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is not playing GTA 6. Your Honor, I rest my case.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's talk about that.
We'll
Next.
play Cyberpunk.
Is it getting Doom: The Dark Ages? Oh, it's
Maybe.
not. Okay. What other games is it not getting?
Hey, Super. I wouldn't keep saying all this stuff on the record, man. Dudes be able to pull this back up, pull up receipts.
What are the Nintendo ninjas gonna do? Break my back? Break my legs? Oh no!
He's not bad math and Mario, so it's fine.
It's like, up you, motherfucker! I got
Oh no, Fujitsu-san, you broke my leg. Boo! Get the fuck out of my house!
Get out of my house because he's crippled. That's funny.
Oh,
That's
man,
priority. That's the thing you're focused on. He's at your
Show
house.
up to my house, see him in a wheelchair. They're like, oh no. We know what to do with
The
this.
the ninjas will come to his house. They'll see him sitting in a wheelchair. Oh, somebody else already got him. Okay.
Hey, wait. What do you mean by ninjas? What you trying to imply, Wize, when you say ninjas? What you mean?
I had that too, you know.
He didn't say my ninja. He didn't say.
Oh yeah.
What up, my ninja? What up, my ninja?
You're right. Yeah, right. My bad. That was my bad. Then my bad.
The funny thing is that like they'll go in there and they'll like, oh shit. Then they'll start calling each other. Did you already hit him up? No, I didn't come here. I was supposed to come here tomorrow.
We can't
I'm
finish
here
it
today.
out.
He's already hooked
We
up.
team B. Someone already fucked this dude up.
Yeah, that would never happen with me because the next word out of my mouth, oh my god, he's got a gun. So
No, it's the same here. It's like, let's see you backflip over these bullets, cocksucker.
you ain't backflipping over buckshot that close range. No.
All right, so here's something a little bit interesting. We always have to talk about, since we're always talking about Nintendo, let's go ahead and talk about this. Yeah, so this guy got got a Switch 2, stripped the motherfucker, and pulled out the motherboard, the chips. He went in and x-rayed that shit, went into the microscope, and basically every speck of that shit has come out. So
they always do that for every console, though.
Somebody always, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got to be somebody who's inclined to electronics because they can put it back together. I ain't doing that. I don't care if you show me a video. I ain't doing that.
You have the people that are going to break it down and look at all the internals shit, and then you have the people that are going to smash it in the street in front of people waiting.
Yeah, smash it.
Those people.
Bro, y'all could have just gave me that shit. If you know
right?
What's the CPU?
Well, you could at least hollowed it out.
Here's the benchmark scores. It is a little bit. It's a 3. I don't know any of this.
It's a little above 750 Ti. Oh no!
Yeah,
I keep forgetting to turn Cozy down on my mic.
It is.
Oh no!
Yeah, so
it's okay. I use this show every week because Cozy starts talking and it works the earwax loose.
I never thought about I never thought about the positives in that. Okay.
Ti was that GPU like 10 years ago.
Sometimes I think Cozy's hard of hearing.
So here we go. Here's everything that you need to know.
Well, you see, it don't matter. It won't be a play Mario. You say it's like 10 years old. It ain't playing no Mario.
You guys are more spec. You guys know more about specs than I do. I don't know anything about this shit. I don't know. Does anyone have anything to say? I don't even know what this means. I mean,
do all these boxes and squiggly lines mean it's gonna play GTA 6?
It's another dog shit fucking Nintendo console. That's what it is.
It actually says that on the box if you translate it. It says dog shit Nintendo.
With my very limited yet years of knowledge in the gaming space, I will tell you, Indy, for a fact, this will play games.
It says it can do algebra.
You gonna take your reputation on that?
I was thinking about
but will it play good games is the question. Yeah.
He's like, hey, listen, man, that's another conversation.
Can anyone come to heads or tails on this shit? Because I don't know whether any of this shit means dialogue.
So I missed this. Where did this guy get his hands on a Switch 2 supposedly?
Is it the one that was that stole it from a factory?
I think so. It was in China. I think it came off of the manufacturing thing, so he stole it.
Oh wait! If he stole it from in China, Oh, he's dead already. Okay, I'm just as soon as he posted this shit.
Yeah, the Nintendo ninjas got you real quick. I bet you won't see another post.
they stood him on top of one of those really tall buildings in Shanghai and said, "Look down there." And he said, "Where?"
Next you know, the ground was starting to come up.
Actually, the Geekbench scores are even weaker than the original Steam Deck.
Did I see that right? Is that close to 3050 there, or was I just looking at things wrong?
Which one? The Steam Deck?
There's nowhere 3050.
No, it got 12. On a Geekbench score, it got 1262, and I don't know if that's the 3050s level. Yeah.
Or the GPU? Yeah, the GPU is kind of. Oh, is that docked?
Yeah, one of them is docked.
I mean, look at the 3D. Yeah, the 3D Mark. Those scores are pretty bad, dude. Those are
at the end of the day, these numbers mean absolutely nothing because no one buying a Switch 2 gives a flying.
That's true.
Mario
Nintendo games will be optimized.
Well, I can guarantee you, Wize, that the box you get from me will not be opened if these are the numbers.
These are the numbers. These are the. So
I'm so excited to play Super Mario Kart World. What was the Geekbench? Send that shit back. I ain't playing it no more.
Exactly.
The
benchmark fitness is horrible.
This also is something to consider with these scores. So the only way he was able to get these performance numbers was to simulate a downclock a 2050 to simulate it. So he looked at like these.
So he doesn't have the hardware then.
He didn't use
He has something, but he was unable to run Geekbench scores or something.
Why are we even looking at this shit then? This dude's.
Well, I mean, but
he's making Jurassic Park dinosaurs. They ain't real dinosaurs.
well, partially because if you can at least get an idea if you look at the hardware and say, okay, it's gonna you can emulate it to a point. But yeah, they're not going to be dead on.
Yeah, because it says right here, it says RTX 2050 GPU at 755 megahertz. And yeah, so it's getting that. So he's approximating.
I think we know all what we needed to know when Cyberpunk came out. It was like over at what, like 40 FPS or something like that.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
I think the only expectations from people buying the Switch 2 is it more powerful than the Switch 1? Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's the most important thing, yeah.
I'd love to see these numbers compared to the Switch 1. Yeah, it'd be interesting at that point.
And not lose like half my frame rate when I'm already playing at 30 FPS.
I don't think it takes too much to beat the original Switch, though, to be honest with you.
I think a hamster and a wheel could beat the original.
Yeah.
The potato that is growing sprouts is fucking more powerful than Flash. All right.
The guy who leaked this information as he was falling down the building.
What would he say?
And
everybody on East Floor heard only one part of it.
Do them off a roof for nothing.
Oh shit. All right. Okay. So another thing came to light this week, and it was the ROG Ally 2. So, or the Xbox ROG Ally, if you want to call it. I don't even know what the fuck you want to call it. Just call it something. I don't care. So yeah, and
Xbox handheld.
Yeah, it's the Xbox. It's Project Keenan and Kale.
I thought that's not the official Xbox handheld. That's just a licensed handheld.
It is. That's just a licensed one.
Yeah, but
listen, if it does native, I'll be real interested then. But if it does do native, like
honestly, I can see myself being in one of those handhelds and slapping Game Pass on it. Like, yeah, I'm good, I'm set.
Oh no, the regular ones have Game Pass on it. I got the first ROG and I got Game Pass on it. They actually give you 3 months of Game Pass free in a code.
That's not the Xbox one. The black one's the Xbox one.
That's the black one's the Xbox one. Are you sure?
No, looks like the black one's the Xbox one, or at least
that's
the black
That's the rumors.
Yeah, Cozy's right. It's got the Xbox button on it.
Yeah, but the white one's controller, the face buttons.
The black one has the colored buttons also.
The black one does too.
Wait. No, let's be correct here. The handheld of color. Okay, let's just
He being real non-PC. Good catch,
Yeah,
Paul.
that's it. See the black one.
All right, so let me see the chip that it has. It's still running a Zen 2 Extreme, I think.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Do you know, Retro? Do you know the breakdown of the specs on this thing? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there it is. It should be the same as the white one, really.
The white one is the same chips. I thought the white one had something else in it. I thought the white one was a.
Oh, is the white
variant.
one like it? Have they upgraded that even more? Then, yeah.
No, the black one's a little beefier. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. The raw too. Yeah.
According to Paul, the black one's got a little more girth on it.
It's even a couple inches longer. Yeah.
It's got a little more girth in the hand.
Wow.
Girth in the hand.
That's why we've got to learn magic tricks, man.
Come on. If you're going to take pictures, at least clean the device off a little.
See, I need Lemon on here when I say these kind of comments. Lemon,
When asked, 65% of white women said they preferred the feel of the black.
Where is his ass, anyways? Oh, I'm gonna podcast live from.
he said he would try, but
I'm still laughing at that.
but Carlo told me that they stopped somebody from live streaming from the floor, so I don't know if maybe that's the issue he ran into. So
yeah, PAX East. I gotta go next year if hopefully.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah, I want to try and go next year too. So
did they just? Here's another question.
Lemon went so.
Did they just build this shit 3 hours ago before they took a photo of this?
So why did they clean it up? Yeah,
I'd say that's probably an early test unit, man.
It
that's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Doing the fucking
you
cha-cha
know how long it takes to like wipe a device off before you take a picture? That's like 5 seconds. Just
right.
Well, they were probably taking this for so they could get the measurements and stuff. Notice how it's laid out. So
I mean, I was so compelled to send this man a Clorox wipe. It was no
Clorox wipe.
If you zoom in on it really close. If you zoom in on it really close, you could probably get somebody's fingerprint really good. And then
exactly. If
that was a Nintendo handheld, there'd already be someone getting sued.
Yeah. Someone would already be in prison.
Yeah, so the ROG Ally 2, the thing is this. I don't see what difference this console is going to be from the ROG Ally X. Like, I don't know what, like...
It depends on what kind of access it has incorporated with Xbox. That's the only thing I could think of, because I said the same thing. I says a ROG Ally X.
PC Game Pass on the X, what does it mean? Like, are they going to revamp the whole UI or what?
You got me.
For those that are familiar with the current device, like how well is it incorporated with the Xbox ecosystem? Like, do I have to jump through hoops to use it?
Yeah,
or?
Right. I think you would though.
It's whatever bullshit you'd have to go through on.
So, like, if it's a
bullshit
PC,
on the ROG Ally X.
it's just like you just select the Xbox app and it opens up PC Game Pass.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's how the regular one works.
Even means,
Yep, it shows in the case of PC now. It shows cloud, it shows my library, it shows games I own, and it ties to the store and all that. So,
or maybe it's just like a partnered colorway. Maybe that's what it's like. Like a different, like a limited edition run of the normal one or whatever.
You know what I find strange?
I don't know.
Own handheld.
I say you're wrong either, but
license out to a third party to make a competing product. I don't understand that.
Well, maybe
I don't think it's.
Maybe
I don't think
concept of where they're going.
Why would it be competing?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I wouldn't think it's competing. It's just another version of it.
Yeah,
but if that's the case, if they're not competing or they're not trying to compete in that space, then why make a Xbox?
Because
money, whatever Xbox paid them to do it.
Branding.
Exactly.
I mean,
no. I'm talking about for their handheld, not the Asus one. Like, if they don't care, then why waste the time and money and R&D to produce their own product?
But isn't their own hardware supposed to be a custom system on chip? Is it not supposed to be like a proper like Xbox? Rather than a PC. You know the way a lot of these handhelds are basically PCs.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Microsoft's plan is to have an Xbox handheld, so system on chip. more running the Xbox OS.
with a very skeleton version of Windows running underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still think that it's going to be seen as a competing, even if they say it's not a competing
true.
product.
But
By the way,
by the way,
underneath Steam is Windows as well already. So
yeah, you can play Steam on ROG too.
See two handhelds with Xbox logos on them, and be
I definitely see where you're coming from. It's like what would be the incentive, and I don't know. I'm kind of looking at it, and it's probably not the best comparison. But when they have like Xbox Steam controllers for like phones or something like that, and I don't know.
The only thing I could think of is
like I know it's different, but that's like I'm getting what you're saying. I'm just trying to
play other games. One will be like basically a Windows machine, and one will be like more like Xbox that can sideload Steam and operate like a
before
Windows.
they do
but
that,
you could operate Steam on it before this.
Because they've not shown an Xbox UI where you can sideload anything, let alone Steam, whether it's Epic Game Store or Steam. So before they launch this thing, I would presume they would do some sort of something, either a tweet or a presentation showing about the new Xbox user interface or some shit like that. Because
we know they've been updating the user interface again.
Well,
I can say that much.
Like an official version 2.0 rollout.
No, but and you'll probably never get an official version 2.0 because they're always tweaking stuff. Yeah. But then again, remember we have the thing coming next month. Microsoft is doing their big Xbox thing, even though it's not in person. They're doing a big thing on that Sunday like they always do. So who knows what we're going to see there. The fact that they've been dropping the big news, they've been dropping the last couple of days, is everybody going, well, shit, that Sunday's probably going to be loaded if they're telling us about all this other stuff already. Holy crap. Why didn't they hold Gears of War until that Sunday? Because there's other shit going to be coming that's going to make you go, holy crap.
Well, maybe they wanted Gears of War on the PlayStation for those two people who've never played Gears of War because they've only been stuck on the PlayStation.
They announced hundreds of millions of people.
Right.
But the fact that they announced this basically a month before their big show, which tells you that what are they going to be showing at the big show? I'm kind of interested.
It's a remaster of
we might finally get some hardware information.
I actually go with Paulie on this, because that's an easy tweet or any type of advertisement for it. But if your show is, I'm just guessing, and I'm with Paul, just assuming if it is packed like that, then you don't have room for that. Hey, who's killing the mouse?
No, it's a fucking cockatiel. Ace Ventura on the panel.
Yeah, it's Cosey's cock. All right. I'm sure.
Look at he's tapping the earpiece, going, hey.
He's like, hey, Mom, I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. Death, yes.
Whatever is going to happen, I'm going to try not to have a mentality of, it's going to be a packed show. I hate going into shit. Every time I go to something expecting great or amazing, I'm always fucking let down. So
I'm not saying great or amazing. I'm just saying packed.
Years ago.
I'm not even going to expect that. If it is packed,
if I don't see Fable, it's an L for me. I don't care. If I don't see
Fable,
will we finally see Everwild? What are they doing over there?
Hey, real quick, do you think that Fable got pushed back because they thought GTA was going to drop?
Well, now they're going to say, well, Fable was going to come out in April of next year, but fuck it. Those are going to be booty.
They just have to be done.
Those are going to be booty's exact words. Well, fuck it.
He's like, the devs got ripped. I worked real hard on it. It's ready to go.
Real Gamer says your cock is teal. Let that fucker go.
I guess
I will say, I mean,
like that.
The GTA thing does open up a window for them to say, hey, we weren't going to do this, but starting in, we're going to drop boom, boom, boom. And,
get it.
Boom, boom, boom,
if they really want Game Pass subscribers to go up, subscriber accounts to go up, put GTA 6 day and date on Game Pass.
Listen, dude already said they'd never do that. Dude said he'd never do that.
What's funny is he said
exactly.
He said
the money it would cost.
I love it. We don't need Game Pass, but by the way, we're putting GTA 5 back on Game Pass. Okay. Okay.
We ain't gonna put GTA 6 on there, but we'll put 5.
Yeah, but that's smart because all the people that haven't played GTA 5,
No, but
play it.
but he said that after it was on there the first time and they pulled it off, and he made that statement.
Yeah.
We don't need to go on Game Pass.
Yep.
And then a few months later, they put it back
Sure
on.
enough, it was right back in there.
Yeah.
That's why I don't take a lot of the stuff they say
Right.
for word all the time.
What do I always say? They probably never actually openly lie to you when they say it's only going to be these 4 games or whatever. Because the very next day at the meeting, they might go, Phil, you know that thing you said yesterday? Yeah, we've been talking about it, and we made some adjustments.
No. This is what I want to do. This is what they should do.
Yeah, we've adjusted our thinking on this.
If he wanted a mic fucking drop moment, this would be it. Come on stage, roll up your sleeve, have a GTA tattoo, and then above it put Game Pass. There you go.
Yeah. You were digging in the graves
to cover up the bruises.
You were digging
to make that fucking deal happen.
Exactly.
By the way, I do want to remind you all here that I said when they did the 4-game thing that I said on this show that it was probably a testing vehicle to see how games would do if they put them on other places.
Everyone knew
but not everyone said that though. So don't go there.
No, I agree. I do agree.
A lot of people told me that I was talking out of my ass.
Bushido, if you remember back when we were doing the show in 2019, I said MS's play was going to be third party.
You did, and the funny part was that's so far in the past
that who said that Call of Duty would be exclusive to Xbox.
No, but it only made sense to me because to me they were going to be the biggest publisher in the world, and
because that was after the ABK deal, right?
I want to say this,
yeah.
Regardless of whether it was Xbox or PlayStation, when you buy that amount of property and IP and the user base is so spread, you've got no choice but to go multi-platform.
Yeah.
Because your fan base isn't big enough to cover that.
Right, exactly.
And I'm talking about whether it's Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, I don't care who you are.
Your fan base is exactly what it was last year, last gen, and the gen. Well, not gen for last,
much
but
so,
you know,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
so the numbers ain't moved. So yeah, you're 100% right. Especially after getting ABK. I didn't want to agree with that when people were saying that when it came to ABK, at least. What I mean,
but it would have been a baller ass fuck you move to make Call of Duty Xbox exclusive. But from a
I always said that would be stupid. You're cutting off the vast majority of your player base.
More important than like anything.
I've always said that multiplayer games need to be everywhere they can be.
They overestimated the strength of Call of Duty, thinking if they did that everyone would drop what they're doing to buy Xbox to play Call of Duty.
Multiplayer games should always be available everywhere.
They should have went back to the 360 days of having was it year one or first time getting the DLCs, and I got map packs all over again. So they, that's just take it back.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. I think that works too. Yeah.
No, this would be such a god move. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of any corporate CEO or anything, but this would be such a god move from Phil. I would have a new level of respect. He comes on stage during
he rolls up his sleeve, and then
he rolls up his sleeve. He has GTA 6, and then he rolls it up. And it says Game Pass Day 1. And he says,
all right, bye, bitches.
And he's like,
the whole show gets shut down right after that. He said, I quit.
That would still not make sense because, GTA will sell no matter what.
Yeah, but,
you ain't kidding.
If you want to do something fucking
put his zipper back up and be like, Phil, give me my wallet back.
Also, they've been doing less games that are not on that are platform specific.
Yeah, but it would still be funny. It would people would I would just love to watch Twitter.
Yeah.
People
by the way, you're ready for me to be a dick though. If it wasn't for Microsoft putting these games everywhere
now,
if it wasn't for Microsoft putting games everywhere now, what the fuck would Sony players be playing? Okay, I'm just.
He's got a point. Well, yeah.
Assassin's Creed, Monster Hunter.
Well, there's two.
Yeah, but you do have his fan bases. Like all of us here, we would play everything. And sure enough, I know I do. I know Super does, and Retro, and Well, I don't know about Paulie, but no, I'm just man. I'm joking. But I'm just saying that we play everything. So all those games you mentioned, we play those. But you got people who only play 2K, who only play Madden, who only plays Call of Duty. You take that away. I think it is a big gamble that you think people are going to jump ship and come to your joint.
By the way, did you see where EA said Madden? We're not going to raise the price on Madden. And I'm thinking, you say that. You say that. Wait, hang on. I saw somebody go, or it was in our chat. And Circman goes, EA gets it. I said, no, EA is going to wait till next year, and then they're going to jack their fucking price up.
Exactly.
That's exactly what Sony's going to do as well.
Yeah.
Sony and Ubisoft and
Is this a fucking Mandela effect or bizarro world that we're in where EA is the fucking good guy?
They're not good guy. They're not, though.
They got to have a retribution arc before they can be the good guy.
No, they are throwing out that vibe and hoping nobody remembers the shit.
Exactly.
Because next year they are going to jack those prices up, and then everybody's going to be like, nobody's going to remember. Didn't they say they weren't going to raise the price? And I'm going to be going, yeah, and I told you they were going to, dumbass.
It's not EA, man. They ain't going to stay pat.
No, what's going to fucking happen? The original game is going to be $70. Then if you want to have the new costume, that'll be upgraded. If you
they always do that. They still do that now.
Yep.
If you want them to have pads, that'll be extra.
You want Darth Vader to be
on AstroTurf, that'll be extra.
Here's the sad thing about that is they can afford not to raise the prices this year because really the development cost on any Madden game is shit because it's all copy and paste from the previous.
Exactly.
Exactly. Doing a roster update, putting in features they stripped away 5 games ago, and number on the box.
And making sure
different things.
And making sure the signage says 2026, which is always funny because they always miss one fucking screen. That has the old information.
I remember that, yeah.
and you're like, guys.
I don't think you guys paid all the attention.
NBA 2K, they should all be a new game every 5 years, and in the 5 years leading up to that, it's just free roster updates every year.
Or it doesn't even have to be free. Even if it was $20, even if it was
Exactly.
You get an actual new game 5 years later.
You hear yourself, Super? You're trying to basically how about you do something to make you less money?
Well,
we definitely get that.
We get it, but at the same time, don't sit there and act like they're the good guys. Okay?
Exactly, Wize.
Like
Battlefield 6 is going to drop. It's going to have a scoreboard this time when it launches, unlike Battlefield 5 or whatever.
That's like
it's not even like Call of Duty, but Call of Duty has.
It's going to have a scoreboard this time.
That's like my favorite bit of lazy from MLB The Show. And they did the thing with the Negro Leagues and the old parks and stuff.
Sure enough, that's right. I almost forgot about that.
And it's like you do the thing for the old parks. It's black and white. It's all pretty, except it's got a fucking jumbotron. Okay.
Right.
I was fucking. You saw I saw this tweet on EA. EA said, "I'm not going up on the price." Then I go to the kitchen. I see my dog and my cat drinking water out of the same bowl. I'm thinking about that whole Ghostbusters thing. Dogs and cats living together.
This is Old Testament type of shit.
I'm like,
but it's the smart play though. Like I said, I had no idea what PlayStation was going to do, but the smart play would be let Nintendo and Xbox be the bad guys for a while, even if it's only for a few months.
Yep.
I figure, given PlayStation's record, it's not even going to be a few months. It's going to be like a week and a half.
I expect the announcement to be imminent. It's coming anytime. But in the meantime,
You're being generous with a week and a half. I thought it was.
I know. I figure by next Wednesday, some shoe is gonna fucking drop. Okay.
PlayStation's like, yeah. Xbox like, we're gonna go up. We're gonna go $80 a game. PlayStation's like, motherfucker, hold my beer.
Someone's gonna pick the shoe up and turn it around.
Yeah,
on the bottom of the shoe, it's gonna say PS4.
Yeah.
PS5
Sony thinks they're at a fucking. Sony thinks they're at a fucking Sotheby's auction going. I got 90. Like, what the hell, dude?
They're gonna release the PlayStation 4 and call it the PlayStation Classic Collection for $400.
Classic collection.
Don't do that. They're gonna finally give us more.
It'll come in a red box and everything.
It's fault because I'm sorry, you can't look at fucking Super Mario Kart World and then look at any of these big budget third party or even first party from Xbox and PlayStation games and say that they are on the same fucking level.
Yeah.
You're not even close. And you want to charge $80 and $90 for the fucking Mario Kart World? You out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, well.
And I don't know if you saw the article that was put out on Lords of Gaming, and that little plastic thing at the game is going to come. The game's not actually coming on that little plastic chip.
Well, yeah. I heard it was some are going to have it, some aren't. Either way,
this game, they actually sent us a note. We had to correct it. This one is not. So
wow.
A lot of the games are
$80.
I think the only ones that are definite that only the whole game. I think Cyberpunk the whole game is on the disc or on the cartridge.
Oh well, they'll patch that the first day. They have to. I mean, that's just a given. That's
but like,
it's fucking it's Cyberpunk. They'll have to patch it before you have it out of the box. Okay.
You say day one.
More time and effort to make than fucking Mario Kart World.
Bushido. Bravely Default. You played that, right? Bravely Default back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
That is a game card. That is one that's not on the disc, on the actual cartridge. You have to download that shit at all times. Bravely fucking Default. A game that came out in what, 2018? You know?
Yep.
I don't understand this practice of giving us discs where it's just a license to download the game. Just give us a fucking code.
Yeah, it's just a licensing thing. It's
exactly.
Don't waste the money making the disc or the cartridge. Then just give me a fucking code.
I mean, OG Bravely Default.
It just doesn't cost that much to make, though.
3DS game.
I mean, the disc itself doesn't cost that much.
My understanding is the idea with it on the license being on that little plastic piece is I'll be able to give you that little plastic piece,
or you can sell it.
The license will transfer to you, or whoever I sell it.
Right. Right.
But it'll be a pain in the ass to put that thing in, wait for the shit to download. I mean, I don't know why. At that point, why don't I just buy digital? I don't care how much you bitch and moan. You're buying the fucking thing that I ordered. I ordered it for you fuckers, so somebody's buying the fucker. I'm still taking it.
Right.
I don't care if you never play the motherfucker. You're buying that.
Right. There's somebody else got this.
Sharpening the toothbrush right now.
I ain't sticking with this shit. Take this.
Right.
I am guaranteed to get my money back. Okay.
It's like Paul's like, bitch, I know where you live.
He's like, come and Shankosaurus.
Get over there.
You getting got.
All right, Mafia the Old Country coming out in August, man. That game looks fire,
that game looks nice.
Oh my god, I'm actually more.
I think it was a smart decision to go back to more linear and get away from the fucking open worldness.
Oh, yeah, people are. Did you see that? I don't know if you watched the thing they did on the panel they did at PAX that they showed on the Xbox channel and stuff. And people are actually complaining. I want to be able to wander around Sicily. No, you don't. I old school Italian. You do not want to be able to wander around Sicily. Your ass will get stabbed. Okay.
The Rockstar game, what the hell is it called? Something Noir?
L.A. Noir.
Yeah, L.A. Noir.
There's nothing to do in fucking
That's a great game.
LA or wherever the fuck it is. Like you're driving around in a car that the top speed is 40 miles an hour.
I loved L.A. Noir, dude. That game
was a great game.
That was a good game.
Visually, that game was fire, man. Visually, that game was fire.
It would have been much better as a more tightly narrative-driven game than this open world where there's nothing to do.
Well, except for you could collect all the cars though, which was a pain in the ass, by the way.
But hopefully, obscure
you stick to the story though.
But if hopefully game. If there's anything to be taken away from the Clair Obscur success, which now is officially 2 million sold, by the way, is that you don't need an open world for every fucking game. Clair Obscur is not open world.
We say this every time an amazing game comes out that isn't $400 million budget or 70 hours. We're like, see, look, you can make a reasonably budgeted game that does all the great things. Mm-hmm. And the big studios, they don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Nope.
Make another live service game that nobody wants. Sony just announced another fucking live service game.
No, but I'll tell you what, though. One thing they did do with Mafia the Old World, if you haven't watched the thing, is they actually did send teams over to like Sicily and stuff and to talk to those people. And they're actually using the proper Sicilian dialect.
Beat me by those people.
To the actual Sicilians. My people.
That's a line from Tropic Thunder.
I know. From my people, but they actually learned the proper local dialect even from back then.
I know Carlo can't play that. Will not play that game. He'll have PTSD once he goes.
Yeah. So I mean, and the level of detail that looks like they went into it, and even a lot of the people are like, they were in chat going, "This has Godfather 2 vibes," because in Godfather 2. He goes back. They go back into Vito's history.
They got Apollonia, bro.
Yeah.
With the game,
and we were messing around, going, Enzio would not have pineapple on his fucking pizza. Okay,
that's sacrilege anyway.
When I was watching the gameplay, it had Naughty Dog vibes. It really did.
Yeah, it looked. It looks stellar.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
It looked, and I mean, like, maybe it's to be honest with you, I was looking forward to GTA 6 this year. However, this was a close second.
By the way, to give you an idea, by the way, at least one of the guys on there has been there since Mafia 1. It's actually him. It's actually him on the cover of Mafia 1. Yes.
That's good. I like that. I mean, this game looks like it's going to scratch all the right itches because it's like protracted. It doesn't look like it's going to overstay its welcome. And so I'm down day one. I mean,
and the Mafia games are really more about the story than anything else. You don't need a massive open world.
If you
exactly competitor, guys, come on now. Like
if you haven't a chance to watch it though, I would go back and watch that panel they did because they explain a lot and makes you go the depth that's going to be in this game, and they tried to. Everybody kind of poo-poos on Mafia 3, which is the weakest of the three, but it still was a good game. But it was the weakest story of the three. But it was
like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't like, oh my god, that game sucks, but it just wasn't as good as the other ones.
But one of the things they take pride in, and they still do, is the soundtracks for 1 and 2, especially. The soundtracks are fire. Because they use music and stuff that actually puts you into that era. It helps with the it helps.
What music were they listening to in Sicily? It was at 1930 or whatever the fuck it is. Like I'm not.
Is that big band music?
Yeah,
in Sicily, no,
not in Sicily. No, it would have been. It would have been really basic but good. But also they're introducing Sicilian knife fighting. So good luck with that.
Let's take inventory here. So now that GTA 6 has fallen into next year, so this year we got Borderlands, the big ones, Borderlands 4.
Babe, first I want to say, are we going to make a bet to see if GTA 6 falls into 2027 I mean, they keep pushing the shit back.
I seriously believe it's Christmas. It's going to be holiday of next year. I don't think it's going to be May of next year.
Too.
They did say, they said May, but yeah, we'll see what happens. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the last time Rockstar released a game, one of their tentpole games.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember the last time Rockstar released a game. I was much younger then. I don't think Cozy was even born the last time they released a new title.
Wait, like I'm the youngest person here. I'm not the youngest person here.
Yeah, that might be triple. Were you born the last time Rockstar?
What's triple? What are you like 28?
He was still
I
in
wish.
diapers.
I'm 30.
Oh, he's so much older than 28. He's 30. Oh
Triple's
my
like,
goodness.
motherfucker, I still am in diapers. What are you talking about?
Bro,
or he's going back to. Going back to.
Going back to exactly.
Yesterday,
Exactly.
and they were telling me how they love GTA 5 and it's their favorite GTA. And I was like, oh, I love GTA 2. I was like, I've been playing since the old GTA on top down on computer. And they're like, oh, yeah, I think my first GTA is GTA 5. I'm like, really? That's your first one? And then I did the math. I'm like, fuck, you were 2 when GTA 4 was out.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, Jesus Christ. I felt old as fuck, bro. My bones hurt my body. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
Or no, it's almost as bad as music. When here's a classic and it's 3 Doors Down fucking Kryptonite. Okay, fuck you. Okay.
On a serious note, the lead singer of 3 Doors Down, cancer.
Stage 4 cancer.
Oh, did he?
You still call me Superman?
Maybe that's a good question, man. That's a good question. Would you, man? I don't know.
It's a good song, man. I love that music video. It's like an old dude walking around with a little Batman costume on. It's a good music video.
It was a good. I mean, they were a pretty good band. They were one wonder.
The video was weird, but I love the song.
Yeah. No, it's a good song.
Yeah,
but it's definitely not. When I think classics, I'm like
no, but they mean classic just by age, 70s. Okay,
Yeah, of course, yeah. It was on the oldies station.
Yeah.
Like Jim Brewer always jokes around about when he's going to be an old man, they're going to put on the oldies station. It's going to be
the oldies. It's Ice Baby. Fuck you. Okay?
I mean, Ice Baby is pretty old.
So my kids already call that old music.
No, I was listening to Nirvana during my planning period one day, and I had a student who was parking in my room, and he's like, "Is that Nirvana?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Whoa, Mr. D, I did not know you like listening to classics." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about classics?"
You're like, "Where's your paper now?" F.
I was going to say you should have filled them right on the spot. I would have filled them right on the spot.
You may as well fucking stop doing your work because you failed, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That test next week you studying for, you failed it. I didn't take it yet. Exactly.
What you do is you palm a piece of paper and you walk over and you grab his paper. You turn around and you rip.
And start ripping it up. Exactly. Oh man!
And he thinks you just destroyed his work. Now who's old, bitch?
I mean, the 90s is old. It's old music.
No, one time I told this kid. They said, "Who is your favorite singer?" I said, "Kurt Cobain." He's like, "Yeah, that's my favorite rapper too." I'm like, "Fuck."
Wow.
Ejectocito, cuz get the fuck out of my sight.
Now you know what I hate about this generation? They have some celebrities that are nothing but They got celebrities that are nothing but YouTubers or streamers, and they're regular people. And if I'm on Twitter, and all of a sudden there's this story comes up that Mark Davis with the poppy gun, he wound up doing this to Abby, and I was like, yo, who are these people? Like, I don't know any of these people. I was like, they look like regular nobodies.
That's their,
we're never going to have like another Whitney Houston, Prince, Michael Jackson.
Well, you will at some point, probably.
No, that's their entertainment.
No, man.
Like, it's the same as when our parents were like your games and stuff like that.
You and your Nintendo.
Yeah, it's not different. It's just that they value a sort of like fake authenticity that they think they're getting.
I get it.
And the prestige around what a celebrity was back in the day.
It doesn't matter.
It's not the same.
People now.
But see that changed even for our age, because it used to be the movie stars and the glitz and the glamour and the control,
Right.
And even that started to change.
On how to dance, how to sing, how to deal with media, like they were.
Well, and their public personas were very, very tightly controlled.
Yes.
And you remember when movie stars
now you got people tanking entire
TV
fucking
stars were very
franchises
separate
so they can't keep
entities.
their fucking mouths shut.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're 100% right. TV stars and movie stars were two different sides. Yep.
And it was like because I remember, I forget who it was, but he was like a big movie star and he moved to TV and he was like, oh, I like it because you get a solid paycheck.
Yeah, no, that's what happens when the luster of your movie star is no longer there.
Well, also remember though, when TV started to happen, a lot of the big movie stars, just like a lot of things now, they see that change and like, you guys aren't like us. You're
yeah.
not,
Basically the movie.
All your Lifetime movies and Hallmark movies, they're all starring ex movie stars.
Mm-hmm.
No, even before that, like TV stars used to be their own thing, and you didn't really get a whole lot of crossover, and it was a big deal when a movie star was on TV.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
if he got on TV
stars moved out into movies, like you get your George Clooney's that moved from ER to like.
Well, before that, he was on The Facts of Life was one of his first roles, actually.
Yeah, but
he was also
very few make that.
He was also on
Elsewhere.
He was also on Roseanne. Roseanne.
Oh, Roseanne. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Last bit of news. Last bit of news for tonight. New developer that PlayStation bought called Team LFG.
Yeah. Did they buy it, or is this a studio
outside?
They're going to be spying on Microsoft. I want you to notice where they're based. They're going to be spying on Microsoft.
For what?
They're headquartered in the same city. They are headquartered in the same fucking city.
How to release a game on other consoles? That's what they're going to find out from Microsoft.
I mean, they do need to kind of like evolve their social.
How to make their hardware irrelevant? That's what they're going to.
I'm saying I'm just like,
great and all, but like, how many studios do we see that they make or that they buy and then they get shut down before game comes out?
Yeah,
I don't get excited about this.
Instead of buying this new studio, however the relationship is, I know it's like ex-Bungie devs, y'all could have invested money into Naughty Dog, built the staff up, and y'all could have had the Last of Us factions running alongside their newest game coming out. You know, I'm just tossing it out there.
I instead of investing in new studios, it's like, why don't you just fucking invest in the studios you already have? Now they have multiple teams working on what they already have that, but multiple teams.
Actually, this looks like it's going to be. I read some. This may actually be, even though they've canned a lot of their multiplayer online shit, that this is what they're working in with this company.
See, that's the shit.
Then I care about it even less. I care about it even less.
They have squandered so much in regards to their multiplayer. They had some and I don't understand how they did it.
Even if Spider-Man multiplayer was a 6 out of 10, I would have played the fuck out of that 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
This looks like this company focuses on games as a service. So good luck with that.
But what did they? But
they were looking to hit that jackpot. That's what it was.
No. But here's the thing. This is after they've, as Paul said, this is after they've shuttered some of those other.
They shuttered like 12 studios, man, or 12 games.
Yeah.
So what did they see about this company and what they're developing that made them say, okay,
even though
listen, you can say that about Firewalk too.
They still have, even though they're not Microsoft rich, they still have fuck you money, which means throw it at a cheap company.
Yeah, but
they could also get money from Japan.
But it's cheap hooker.
Exactly.
Fuck you money. It's it's not.
They bought something that was probably kind of cheap. They bought them.
Sorry, baby. We're just paying for you. You got to supply your own blow, man.
And if they don't work out, they'll just shutter them. If they don't work out, they can just shutter them and on to the next.
No, bitch. I said you supply the rubbers. I ain't buying shit. And I will Venmo you your money after you leave.
I will forever. Oh, you know what? I would have bought a PS5 if they had an exclusive Twisted Metal Battle Royale.
Of course you would, but nobody else would. That's the problem.
It would be really exclusive. It'd be just her.
Cozy's got the only limited edition Twisted Metal PS5.
No, they're gonna look at current. They're gonna look at their current player count. They're gonna say all of one. Okay, we make money off this bit.
When you're
what was that game?
The problem is they've only been chasing these trends, and when you chase a trend,
they need to fucking everybody in the industry needs to stop saying we want the next Fortnite. You're not gonna have it.
Yes.
No.
Focus on what you're good at. PlayStation, you're good at narrative-driven single-player games.
Yes, no, those are what's making the money. Call of Duty makes them more money than any of those games.
Yeah, but
Call of Duty makes Microsoft a shitload of money. That's right.
It also makes PlayStation makes more money off of Call of Duty and Fortnite than any of their games.
Yeah, but
that's the problem.
It doesn't mean that they can go and recreate that and get 100% because they're
The
gonna make
thing-
their own Call of Duty. I don't.
But you
think
take every
that's
avenue
not-
you can to make money.
They're not. They're trying to
The amount of money they have lost, the amount of money, time,
ridiculously
effort squandered because they say this is going to be the payday. You want to
Yes.
I would have been like, who over there is still greenlighting this shit? I'd be like,
that's
right.
that was your idea. Kick him out the fucking window.
No, the ultimate problem is you don't even have to aim for the stars.
Send them to Japan. Send them to Japan, China. They got a really high building in China. So,
They put nets out the windows of those buildings, Paul, so people don't come
Well, if you push the guy out far enough, he's going to miss the net. So you know.
He's been spending too much money aiming for the stars, and there's so many other options where they can create a niche. Even if they're trying to create an online game that makes them money, those can be cheap. But the problem is they're trying to go after
because of the amount of money
I guess it can't be
and lost now. Now the games they are making have to be so much more impactful in terms of how much money they make. They have to sell way more copies, make way more money because of the money they lost on the bullshit. Had they not wasted money on the bullshit, the games could have sold 10 million and been okay.
I don't understand how
400 million wasted. 400 million down the toilet.
The VR team should have made a VR like game like PS Home. They should have a game that just to get people to buy stupid shit in a virtual world.
Yeah, their rollout just doesn't make any sense because I understand if you want to get into that space because that was something that PlayStation was missing. I know they had their specialty, but that's why it's just you focus and grow instead of like splintering off.
Yeah, but they were 10 years late.
And
they're 10 years late to that.
Again, instead of buying up studios and putting money there, again, you could have worked with the studios you already had under your wing and just invest.
Right.
We're gonna give you money. We're gonna give you money. We're gonna acquire you. Like, bro, you got Naughty Dog already working on factions. And again, the reason they said they weren't going to do it is because they didn't have
They already have among some of the best studios in the industry.
Yeah.
Just fucking help them grow.
But the problem is. Yeah, and that would have been the best idea. But the problem, I think, ultimately the problem is that they were just chasing stupid shit that they shouldn't have been chasing. And there's nothing wrong with chasing
7-year-old stuff.
They're chasing the fast buck that's insanely hard to catch. I'm sorry, they're gambling.
When you look at something like some of Microsoft's live service games, they don't make a lot of money.
They're
but they
basically
make
playing
enough.
the roulette where there was only one spot on the roulette wheel you could win. And they're like, keep spinning that bitch.
The problem here is the fact that they put so many. They had so many under.
Exactly.
They had so many under there in the works that you're just spreading your. I know there's different studios and different teams, and some they're partnering with versus being first party. But like you're spreading so many resources instead, it's like focusing on a few and growing them from there. Especially when you have like Spider-Man of all games. Like, bro, put that out there and see if else to see.
And you just keep throwing money at everything.
How many of the game ideas that at least the ones we've heard, the ones that they were canceled, were like someone else has done that, and from what you already offered, I don't think yours will be better.
Concord, you put out Concord.
Like of all the games,
all the games that you say someone else is doing. Of all the games, you could look at like,
and then fucking Bungie came and was like, no, factions, you got to cancel that shit.
It's like factions. It's like of all things,
be the one.
I mean, we didn't see the gameplay of it, but like, how many games are out there? Like, again, we haven't seen it, so maybe they saw something we didn't. But like, we don't have other factions out there from what we're getting from Naughty Dog. I don't think, unless you want to say think of any other survival
how to
game.
make a good amount of money off of it.
Right. With the reasoning for that, I understand. Naughty Dog saying we don't want a live service studio tied to this one fucking game.
No, but it's. I get that.
Someone else do it.
No, I mean, or again,
right, exactly.
Invest into, either have someone else do it or invest to hire. Because you can see with Bungie, they got Marathon, they got Destiny, they're working on multiple projects. So it's like it's not
Marathon. That shit ain't gonna do nothing.
I'm just saying, like in the terms of we don't have the studio, because that's the whole thing. We can't do both projects because then we're gonna be a live service studio. I was like, make a live service team while you still had the single player team working on the games. Like, that's not a possibility.
I don't think they're chasing after
just a live service, but they fucking suck.
But no, here's the thing though. I don't think
it's COD particularly.
No,
I think it's just that.
Mistaken. I don't think that they're chasing after the next COD. I think they're chasing after the next Helldivers 2. Because they got
Helldivers 2
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Helldivers, I love Helldivers 2, but that ain't Fortnite. That's not Apex
And
Legends.
it doesn't
That's not
make,
Call
and
of
it's not a
Duty.
big money generator. You don't even.
And all the Helldivers 2 hype is gone. It's done.
Yeah,
And
but that's
no,
what
man,
they're looking
problem
for. They're
is-
looking
It
to
sure
go
would
back
be.
and do
It'd
well
be
and
cool
get
if they put it on
reward.
Xbox, right?
No, the other big problem with Helldivers
Yeah,
2
true.
is
The problem was they couldn't keep up with the content drops, and the content drops that they had were unimpactful. They were boring. The new
and they're
weapons
cheap.
weren't cool.
Like
It
I
was
will
like
literally farm for them.
I went through multiple of whatever the fuck their little battle pass things are called. I forgot what they're called. Multiple of them. And I was still using weapons from the first fucking day because they were better than anything and all the subsequent battle pass things.
So the other problem
at that point
is
where I'm like, I'm not playing it anymore.
But there
the
was
other
a
problem
time.
is
But check it out. There
Sony
was a
needs
time.
something that they can control on PlayStation. Helldivers 2 is not it because most of the players are not on PlayStation.
Well, whatever it is, they did.
Well, it
there was a
doesn't matter where
time
they are.
for PlayStation.
It's
they
a-
were making money off of Destiny 2, Fortnite, COD, Helldivers 2. Now, Helldivers, as you said, has not gone to the wayside, but it's quiet now. And Destiny 2 is pretty much over.
Yeah,
That leaves them. I do know these two
don't say that.
pillars, but
Destiny Bungie just announced a new expansion in July.
oh yeah.
What?
It's not over. They're making a whole new saga. Like they're like, hey, bro, we got a new saga going. If it's
I got
exactly.
tired out
We
with
got another 5 to
Destiny,
10
but
years to do.
Destiny looks a million times more interesting and fun than fucking Marathon. I'm sorry. It just
No,
does.
yeah.
No, that's true.
It just does.
Ton and
The
what's it?
classes look more
Concord.
cool. The
First
abilities
of all,
look more cool.
if I came in there to affect Concord, the first thing I say is like, what is it with these weak 1980s looking characters? Like, why is these the basis? Can I hire somebody else that has some balls to make these characters cool?
Bungie and Destiny, those fucking characters look dope. All the classes, every time new armor comes out, they always look fucking cool. Like I said when Hellblade came out, Helldivers came out. Sorry, Hellblade. When Helldivers came out, I was like, yo, someone needs to grab the designers over at Bungie and help them design the new armors for Helldivers, because those armors at Helldivers, they fucking suck. New ones come out and they're boring. They're not
Did we get
interesting.
the
Someone over at Bungie, and then Bungie makes this shit,
armor?
and I'm like, well, I guess there's nobody to get anymore.
I know I'm jokingly saying it, but I am surprised out of all the games that they do have, why it's not like on other platforms. And again, Xbox ain't doing shit, so they don't see the point in doing that. But I'm not surprised they just like, fuck it, we're gonna
I
put
would
it.
be more interested in Marathon if they're like, Marathon has a single player campaign and this extraction shooter bullshit. When it's like, it's an extraction shooter, there's no campaign. Nope.
No, it's pretty.
That hurts my eyes though.
Like I
With the art style they
with Destiny and finding and doing
does.
the
I don't like
missions.
it
I
either.
like that.
I think Concord could have been better, but but it had literally the worst character design
They were ugly.
I've ever
Listen,
seen.
I
Like,
always
why
said
was
they're
hyper-realistic?
I seen
very
a
weird-looking
YouTuber just
What's
a
up with them
fucking-
corny names?
He didn't even do it. He didn't even do it as a job. Like he wasn't a professional digital artist. He's a guy that dabbled in it, and he literally took the concept of what the characters are and redesigned them, but didn't change anything. Same colors, same type of clothes. He just made them aesthetically pleasing, and they were instantly fucking cool.
It was like all the characters in
Wow.
that game felt like they were designed by an AI.
Yeah, it does. It does look like that those games. Yeah.
From 1980.
They were designed by an AI that was like fucking.
I'm
Someone
just-
typed in
deep of
cool
fucking beer.
1980s
I'm
weird
just-
sci-fi alien.
Exactly. And 80 would have been fire.
The fact that they even put it out and then took it away so quick, I'm just like, God.
And that fucking dude's name was Star Child, the one that had like the ass cheeks on his fucking forehead. His name
That's
was
what I
Child.
was like. Start out the names itself sound like 1980s
No,
cartoons.
There was like, and honestly, I know that's hard because like whenever you try to create something, like if I want to create characters or something, anytime I think of a name, I'm like, yo, that's corny as fuck. But honestly, Darth Vader, C-3PO, Yoda, they're all corny, but they ended up like becoming nostalgic and cool. But for whatever reason, these names,
But that's because
I understand
Because
how
the
hard it is to do
hyper-realistic
that.
style
but they
makes it
just
look
all
silly.
sucked.
The
They
hyper-realistic
Yeah.
style makes it look extra silly to have like those names. It basically, I think a lot of the problem was like they went for a terrible looking style because a lot of the things about Concord were interesting and engaging kind of features.
I agree.
But
They
then
were
you just looked
interesting
the
at least.
game, and it was like the game is so ugly, like legit ugly. I can think of very few games where I would describe everything about them as just ugly, and Concord is one of them.
There was only
I hate
one
to say-
character in the entire roster that was even somewhat cool looking, and it was the black dude with the fucking duster and the hat. He was the only cool looking character.
Oh
Everything
yeah,
else
yeah, because
was
that look,
garbage.
yeah. That's about it.
Our last topic for tonight, before we clock on out, is this one. There are some developers. Christopher Ding actually wrote this article and brought it up, and he said that some of the developers are asking internally why they should bother making an Xbox game anymore. So,
Because you get paid to work there and tell you what to do.
I don't know. They're like,
talk about Xbox port, right?
Yeah, an Xbox port, right?
Not, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those situations where it's not many that are skipping the platform, but if things keep going the way that they are, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to. If we see more games skip it, because again, if you can get games on, if you get all the Xbox first party on PlayStation, PC, why would you get a console? I understand people will say Game Pass is a selling point, but is that enough for someone to say, hey, I'm willing to drop $300, $400, possibly $600 for this one box, or I can get like a PlayStation and buy any select Xbox game that I want and use their own PlayStation Plus service.
Because currently there are enough
That's
people
what I'm PC.
that aren't on PlayStation or PC that you just lose out on those potential sales.
Well, I mean, they're still developing for the PC. They just don't see the point of making a port for the Xbox. That's
what I'm saying is, for a lot of those games, it's like there are enough people that you're just going to lose sales, and then just be like, okay, you can lower your sales forecast, but does a company really want to do that?
But like, that's the question. They're looking at it and they're like, is it really going to lower their sales forecast if they neglect it?
They're certainly not going to increase them.
What? It's
But
one
developing for a third platform is going to increase their cost, though. That's definitely
not really.
Well, I'm sure there's a reason. I mean, it depends from studio to studio, because there's been plenty of studios to say, hey, we'll put a Xbox version port out later, either because of cost or manpower, just to make sure it's running correctly. So again, if the reasons why some studios have released or avoided releasing day and date on PlayStation and Xbox is because of resources and money. If you see where Xbox is going now, you're just like, well, why would I go through that struggle? Why would I use that or call for the expense for this if even Microsoft is giving less people reasons to be on their platform? So why should I put my games there? It might is the cost warranted? Who knows?
I mean, in the end, I think Microsoft has come to the point where they're like, look, we want you to either buy or...
Wait, did I hit rewind on this thing? I must have fell asleep or something.
No, go ahead. Yeah. You have anything to say on this? Like, so Christopher Ding wrote this article. He said that there are some developers asking why.
No, I actually pointed that out somewhere because I saw that and somebody said, and I pointed out some developer somewhere in some nebulous place and drinks a dink. He always writes up this stuff.
That is actually another thing. Someone said a thing.
Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. But they're treating it like it's gospel, and I'm like, stop it.
Yeah, we don't know how many. I think what it is like if you're like one of those small independent developers, and you only have a budget to make a game for one console, then they're opting to make it for the PlayStation.
If you're a small independent developer, you're probably just putting your game on PC, and then maybe
and they're more likely to reach out to Xbox through the ID at Xbox program and get their game on Game Pass because, hey, why not?
Even just visibility, because they do entire little bits for small indie devs.
So do you think going forward, the games that are going to be coming from third parties, or whether they're big third parties or small third parties, are going to be the games that are only on Game Pass and not something that just is available on the Microsoft Store to buy, or what?
No,
I think
every game on Game Pass is available on the store to buy.
Right.
They would never do that.
I think by the people that are quoting Dring, and he actually came back and clarified some of his statements that I didn't bother to read because I think the guy's a dink. But
he's Drink. Go ahead.
But the idea that there's always that some developer. I remember a lot of times when we've seen some so and so developer said this about working on Game Pass or working on the Series S. It was a fucking graphic artist or somebody.
Who's the guy that like really what they say?
Artist, the graphic artist.
Yeah.
It was like the Series S ruined my life.
Yeah. So yeah. So whenever so Nebula says developers. Okay, there's a lot of people under that flag, and this guy could be absolutely nothing. This guy could be the guy who was with the team and he emptied the trash every night when they went home.
Or could be a guy remember that guy who was making that dolphin game, who was talking a whole lot of shit about the Series X before it came out? I don't remember what it was. There was this one developer I remember during COVID.
Oh, yes, I know what one you're talking about.
He was making this dolphin game, and he was talking about how great the PS5 architecture was and how shit the Xbox Series X was, some shit like that. And that was before the fucking consoles even launched.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, so like Wize, every game that you can get on the Xbox on Game Pass, you can just buy. And actually, I've actually stepped up my buying because I play on PC. So I'll just play third party. I'll just buy it on the Xbox. I mean then port my saves.
Yeah, I'm heading that direction too.
Yeah.
I'm heading PC too.
I just want my end terminals to play my library no matter where I buy it, whether it's Steam, Xbox, PlayStation. I just want devices that play them. I don't care as long as they play them with the best
fidelity. PC then.
Well, I don't want to buy a PC because number one.
Weren't you the guy that was like talking about the Steam Deck or something, unable to play multiple games at once?
He was putting games on. He had like 5 games on feet. Wonder why the 6th one wouldn't play right. It was lagging.
Most PCs aren't even designed for that.
Nope.
Well, I don't know.
I do find it interesting that Xbox, the Xbox, the Series S and the Series X have quick resume. We do not have that functionality on a Windows machine, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why though. I
don't know how this works.
I said the same thing.
I don't know how this works.
They store it somewhere on the SSD or some shit like that.
Paul, I recently discovered some because I will play some games that are installed on my One X. And I was playing Turnip Boy. I switched to another game.
Oh,
crap.
Turnip Boy.
And I switched to Turnip Boy. And Turnip Boy was like still in the background. And I don't know why. And it's also happened with Mass Effect. Where I was like, oh, this game is still in the background.
Yeah, well that's quick resume. That's what quick resume is.
Series console.
Which one are you? What are you playing? Probably because and you're saying they're installed on the hard drive?
Yeah. It doesn't happen with all games, but it happens with some games.
You're making that up.
It's game specific.
No, I'm not. No,
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, Cody. I'm messing with you.
Turnip Boy today, and I was like, oh, that's weird because I was playing another game, and then I went back to Turnip Boy, and it was like.
And it didn't reload the loading screen or anything?
No, it was like where I left off.
Interesting.
Turnip Boy's going to be a sequel.
They must have activated it for some smaller games on and for some games on the series on the One X system.
I know.
I thought you needed an SSD to play. You have that feature.
You don't need an SSD to play Turnip Boy. You just need a hamster wheel.
The first time I noticed it was when I
what the quick resume really is. It's basically it's a snapshot of the game's current status. And you don't even really need a hard drive to do that or a SSD to do that. You can quarter off a piece of the memory and store it that way as well.
It's like the same way computers will hibernate, not sleep, hibernate specifically.
But wouldn't that be taxing your RAM, or wouldn't it diminish your pool of RAM?
It just parks it there in a static form. It doesn't do anything with it except park it in that static form.
So if on your PC, if you hibernate it. Mm-hmm. It does the same thing because I don't sleep my computer. I always just hibernate. So it just acts like it's shut down, it pretty much does shut down.
And then
so
sometimes on a
shit was
Windows
muted.
machine, you're lucky if it wakes up correctly, and then you have to
Mine always wakes up
then you have to
correctly.
restart it correctly, all the way, and
Like it opts on very, very, very low power.
Yeah, but
and
I was saying while my shit was muted that maybe the game's just coded that way because there's certain
Yeah.
games even on PlayStation that once you've played the game and gotten through all the intro and credits and shit and like the screen of like who the publisher and shit is, when you go back into it, it skips that and goes
not
back to the
Turnip
game.
Boy. Turnip Boy always goes back to the start screen when I quit it. But this time I didn't quit it. I just started another game.
You didn't hit it.
All right, Doom Dark Ages previews came out.
Fucking lie. We said our last topic.
Right.
I forgot about it.
You're a liar.
It's. I think the average is 86 right now, which is
Higher than your mom. Oh.
No, that's 69.
It's stupid. though,
Let's
because
talk about somebody mama.
I'm hearing it's amazing, but then I'm hearing from some people complaining that it's not Doom Eternal, and it's like, well, of course
it's
not.
no. Okay.
Right.
It's so stupid.
I can't say how I know or why I know or anything like that. It is not Doom Eternal. It's good.
Eternal?
Unlike Doom Eternal, it's good.
I'm
kidding. But it is
no double jump and no double dash.
It is more. It is more of a callback to the classic Doom. It really is. As far as that.
I was speaking
complain that a different game is a different game.
Because they're dumb.
It's coming off of if you played Eternal, you're hoping for more Eternal, I guess. But
yeah,
I was speaking.
People complain that it's not the same way Eternal plays. I'm like, yeah, but Eternal doesn't play the same way Doom 2016 plays. Like, why are you gonna take away points for that? Like, was it good? That's all I care about.
Yeah, is this particular game good?
It's not supposed to.
It is much closer to classic Doom. It is much closer.
No, that's good. I was speaking to a homeowner earlier. He was just like, yeah, I'm in my 60s playing these games, and he couldn't get into Doom Eternal because of how more.
Is that fucking corn raw?
Same reason I couldn't do Doom Eternal. Now that jumpy.
You microwave it in the hot and it's
fucking love Eternal because it was jumpy.
But part of the problem for me is they had no accessibility. This game has accessibility out the fucking wazoo. Okay, there's.
I guess. Well, for those that were scared of the Marauders from Eternal, now you don't have to worry about that anymore, right? The Marauders.
Yeah, but like I like the platforming in Doom Eternal. I enjoyed it, but just because it's not in Doom the Dark Ages, I'm be like, oh.
No, that's always a weird. It is a bit of a weird thing to give a con to a game for. Like if it plays differently, is what they're offering here good?
That's literally the only negatives I've heard about the game is that it's not doing things that Doom Eternal did. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Like if it just did it worse, like it tried to do Doom Eternal.
The things that it is doing, is it doing them well? And from all accounts, it is great.
Yep.
That's all I care about.
And they've added some new stuff that makes it fun. Lots of fun.
It looks fucking awesome.
When is the early release for that?
Early release is Tuesday.
The 14th or 15th?
No, Tuesday's the 13th.
Tuesday's the 13th because it releases on the 15th officially.
The 13th.
So it's only releasing 2 days early?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which kind of has me bummed, but it is what it is.
So they're making you pay $30 for a 2-day early access?
Well, plus you're going to get the DLC they're going to add on later.
Yeah.
You're going to get the skins they're going to do.
So it's more like a season pass type situation.
Somebody needs to clip Cozy.
Basically, yeah, you're going to get everything they're going to add later because they are going to add.
Careful how you eat that shit, Cozy.
They are going to add campaign. They are going to add campaign DLC and stuff. So.
Okay. Well, then that's fine. I mean,
I don't like wasting any bit of the kernel.
The 2 days is all I need.
I know, but you were coming at it from the end, and it didn't look good.
See, that doesn't make any sense. Why not release it today? If you're going to do early access.
Well, I don't know.
Usually they would have released it today if it was. It is interesting. It's dropping on Thursday and not Tuesday because most Xbox Game Pass games drop on Tuesday.
Yeah, because the early access is that Friday prior, so the people who pay extra can play it over the weekend.
Makes me wonder if there's anything dropping Tuesday that we don't know about on Game Pass that they didn't want to jump with.
Unless it's a drop, it's a shadow drop. I don't know if anything because that's Doom is the next. Big one.
How do you shadow drop something that's announced?
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about Doom. He's talking about something else on Game Pass. There could be a third-party game dropping on Game Pass that we don't know about. Because every week they tend to do that. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know that's going to hit Game Pass. Boom, there it is.
Too.
I mean, they're like this one, Doom and Night Rain and what's that game called?
Yes.
Doom,
Describe it.
Night
What's it look
Raid,
like? What's it smell like?
Onimusha 2, a remaster or a remake or whatever they want to call it. Those are your 3 big games this year. I mean, this month, which leaves
this year, this decade, whatever. Fuck it, yeah.
Except for Night Rain, which I don't think Doom is really worried about. The month was pretty open.
No, I honestly don't know why. You know, it's just every once in a while they do drop a game on Thursday. I don't know why they chose to do it with Doom.
Because it's
drops are always all over the fucking place. It's like games, certain games that they drop at midnight. Then other games, it's like, no, it's got to be 4 p.m. the next day. And it's like, why?
That's why.
Yeah, but I mean, the game. Everyone who's played it said, from the reviews, they said it's phenomenal.
Cool.
Yeah,
no, that's good.
I've been hyped for it since day one.
And to be honest with you, if it's not like Eternal, that's fine because I never cared for Eternal to begin with that much. To be honest,
I think it looks so cool instead of Game Pass.
Where Eternal was quick and you had to, especially with the big with the ones that got me were the big guys with the little target on the top of their head. The only thing way you could kill them was to hit that little thing on top of their head.
Are you talking about the wizards?
Its gameplay loop was more like, in my opinion, like Metroid Prime, where it's really fast and you're jumping around and doing this.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Okay, so
you were jumping, dashing, chainsawing people 1 minute.
Yeah. So this
was so great.
This Doom is
the skeleton guys in that one room that fucking it took me like 30 minutes to get out of that fucking room. I forgot what that was called.
This Doom is much more smash and crash.
Is this more okay? So this is what I'm going to ask this question. But
I've heard it
let me explain the question before you sort of rip me to shreds. Does this game play like Returnal? You know, like Returnal was like a bullet hell game.
No. I never played Returnal, so
I've played Returnal. This is bullet hell. It has bullet hell elements, like when you see when they shoot the waves at you, and you can only parry the one. But other than that, it's not bullet hell. Like Returnal,
and no, they have
hell from all directions.
And just so I will say the rage, the shield thing is cool. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
the Rygar shield's been cool all since the 1980s. So it's okay.
Yeah, but I never played it on that. So I'm saying from my experience with this, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Okay. Plus you get a little bit where you're flying around on a creature as you're doing that stuff, and you even get a little bit of time in a mech.
Oh, cool.
You know,
I remember seeing that in the previews. Yeah, that was awesome as fuck too.
Yeah, it is. And what's cool about it is none of it feels light and loose. Okay, so when you're in the mech or when you're running around, it feels correct as far as the way the controls work. You know what I mean? They feel tight.
But it feels like these guys are god tier with this
weighs
shit.
500 pounds.
What's that?
On them.
What now?
Well, I know I missed what you asked, Wize.
I said, but this is it. It is god tier when it comes to these type of gameplay mechanics. I mean, like I cannot think of a company that does this better than id.
No, one thing they did to help me with some of the levels that I got to play.
I think you're cool.
Is you can slow the game in general, or you can slow how fast projectiles come at you, giving you time to react and stuff. Which is funny because if you're used to playing at full speed and then you do that, it throws off your timing. It really does, because you're thinking, okay, now is when I have to hit the button to do this. Well, now you're hitting the button too early because they're not there yet. You know,
So basically you muscle memory the bullet or the pattern, and then you sort of fall off of muscle memory.
Right.
You know?
It's like if you ever played the Star Wars Jedi Survivor game, and you can slow the battle, 80, 40, whatever percent, and all of a sudden you couldn't fight for shit because the muscle memory kicks in and you're thinking boom, 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 and it's not. It's boom.
It's kind of
wait.
It's kind of like it's kind of like when you're as you say, when you increase your FPS count from 30 to 60, there is a little bit of that readjustment that you have to do because you got your.
It's not even FPS. It's just game speed. It's just game reaction speed.
It's just you're used to different shit.
Yeah, but for the parts I got, I'm one of the reasons I wanted the early access is because I want to. Even though I got to play it and I got to play part of it multiple
you don't
times.
Have to justify the early access. I'm going to buy right now.
But the fact that I have done it enough to go, I want to do this some more. It's not like sometimes when you get in on a beta and after the beta's done, you're like, I'm done. Fuck this. And we've all been there where you played the beta and you were excited and you played it and you played it, you played it, you played it for hours. And by the time the main game come out, you went, I don't really need to do that.
You know a game is good when you want to go back to it.
Yeah.
It's calling you to come back to it. It's like one of those things. It's like an obsession,
There isn't a single second of trailer where it doesn't look like it's a fun game.
Yeah. What is the runtime for this game?
From what I saw, it has 22 chapters.
Okay.
The first, from what I saw, and mind you, I didn't get to play the whole thing. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
But I got to play less than half of it. But the first 10 chapters, they say will take you about 3 hours, which about fits with what I did.
3 hours?
About 3 hours for the first 10 or so chapters. And after that, it slows up quite a bit.
Okay, because I was about to say, fucking 6-hour game, Jesus.
So you're looking at maybe a max runtime of 15 hours?
No, I think it's going to be more than that. I think it's going to be.
Say about 30.
Maybe, yeah.
You think 30? I don't think Eternal ran.
Does it have like a little hub world, kind of like Eternal does, or is it more linear like the 2016?
No, you're going to keep going. It actually does have a story, unlike previous Dooms.
Hey, Doom guy was the creator, not the creator. He was not a clone of the universe guy. You thought,
yeah.
Whatever.
But in it, there are cutscenes and stuff that tell you the story, and I'm not going to spoil any of it. But from what I saw, it's creating a very interesting story to go behind Doom guy and what's going to happen.
Wait, so it's a prequel, right, to 16 and Eternal?
That I don't remember. I don't know.
I thought it was a prequel to even the original, wasn't it? I thought it was it's like the first Doom chronological.
It might. Because 20 or Eternal did show some past of Doom guy, how he was with the Sentinels. I think that's who they were and their whole history. So that's what I thought the Dark Ages was around that time when he was fighting with the.
I think it's the first one without a chainsaw.
But the shield is a chainsaw.
Correct.
Well, the shield is a chainsaw now.
It's
but
still
yeah.
not a chainsaw.
I think that's what it is. I think this is like
It's like technically.
chronological.
Damn, you're right.
Doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
It's a prequel to 2016. Yeah, because like I said, they had a whole demons thing of the Sentinels and all that jazz.
So wait, Paul, you didn't answer my question. Is there like a hub world where you go back to after each one of the missions that you upgrade and shit? Like
it's the only way. Not from what I saw. The only reason you go back to quote the hub world is when they do the cutscenes and they cut you back, and then you go to wherever the next thing is going to take you, be it by portal or by jumping
Is
over
it
the
open
verge.
or is it more linear?
It's very linear. It's very linear.
So all that like Metroidvania shit they had in Eternal, that's completely gone.
Seems like it, yeah.
No, it's fine.
I think this is
but
more of
but
a,
I mean,
more of that
but
run
as far
and gun
as the upgrades go,
Yeah.
it's like if you've ever played the Dark Knight series, when you say Alfred, I need blah blah blah, and all of a sudden this thing would come down and drop in front of you, and you pick it up. That's pretty much how that works.
That's
So,
cool.
all of a sudden you hear over your headset, "Hey, we're sending you something,"
You
or
said
there's
you didn't
something.
want to waste any of that coin. I see kernels all over that bitch. And you were getting blowjobs.
And then
There's
So-
not very many. These are like the gross kernels because it's been in my refrigerator for 2 weeks.
I want to buy that. I
no.
want to buy the collector's edition because I want that fucking statue.
What?
That statue is freaking fire. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's
The only thing
mostly
about the
good.
statue I don't like is the little cloak, the wolf fur. It's like super stiff. But other than that statue is super.
I want to be fluffy.
But I don't know if it's like, it's good, but is it $300 good? That's the question.
Well, if you get it, and you don't like it. Wait till I move out there and then give it to me. That's probably so.
Honestly,
How about this? I'll buy you the collector's edition and give you $200 on top. You send me the Switch too.
Ooh,
Deal.
Like, I would spring for the helmet over that statue. I think the helmet's way cooler.
Yeah, the helmet looks. Where can you? Oh, is that also on the Bethesda store?
I don't know, but I think that's the one that they had for Doom Eternal. Was you can get the helmet for the collectors.
Doom Colonel.
yeah. And sorry, no, because I need them to put that money back where it came from because it looks like I'm going to be doing a film festival here in Orlando in October.
Oh,
so I need to make sure I have.
Now I know where you live.
No, I was just saying if you wanted to, I mean, that would
Right.
that'd be-
No, I will think about it. Because then the other thing is too, I'm hoping
I mean, it's dollar for dollar. Whatever you paid, I'm going to pay you back. But part of it will be paid by the thing.
Oh yeah, the helmet is available on the website. Oh, it's only $175.
Oh shit! Add that shit to my collection.
What?
And because it comes with the game, I don't want the game.
No. I mean, but 100. Come on, let's be honest. With just the helmet, it would be like $135.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. My dog is sitting here like I think he's got a piece. We're gonna call it a night. It is officially 10 o'clock. So let me go ahead and get everybody out of here. Bushido, my man, tell us where we can find you, sir.
Fridays here when I can, and Wednesdays on the KY Bob Show at 8 o'clock. Wednesdays on the YouTube and Xbox, PlayStation, everywhere else. It's Bushido 7, and on Twitch it's Mr. Bushido _N7.
All right, cool beans.
Hey, who's in the airport?
I got family. Hold on.
All right, Trevor.
Good. It's cool, man.
You can find me here every sometime. God damn, I am tired. Occasionally streaming, no stream to this week because I was busy. I might stream tomorrow, but I was too busy to stream this week. So yeah. Triple Combo Gaming on streaming platforms: Twitch, Twitter. Not Twitter, not X, YouTube.
Jesus Christ.
I am tired, guys. I am tired, man. I am.
He got the first gaming stream on his OnlyFans, because he's got to get people over there.
Wize was his first scrubber.
All right. Nova, my man, tell us where we can find you, sir.
The tubes of you at Supernova Gaming, Twitter at Yo It's Nova, and then here every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern for Wasted with Wize.
Cool beans. All right, Cozy darling, go ahead.
You can find me at
you guys got stop stealing my stuff.
Good.
That was a second late.
You can find me.
You can find her in the cornfield making money off.
How do you spell that? Oh.
She's like,
And you can find me here, and then you can find me all other places.
Sometimes.
You can find Cozy Beleaguers. I've had a busy month.
You've been a busy month.
I was in Atlanta last weekend.
I'm sorry.
You get outside?
Did you just say it's your time of the month?
Wow.
I did not know you go outside.
And then the month before that, I was on some other.
He was in the
the week before that, I was on something else. I was doing something else somewhere.
Getting that bread.
Look anywhere you can find Cozy. Well, most places you can find Cozy because that's her pimp. So TSW. And behind them, Sage Wilson. They run a hell of a show at TSWS with Ham Solo.
Do they really?
Logan, yeah.
Yeah, I asked the quite same thing, man.
Yeah, at night when I can't fall asleep, I'll tune on to their show and
y'all trying to make me go to sleep.
He's like, I'm out immediately.
and then just as you're about to doze off, Cozy says something and you wake right the fuck up.
Exactly. Blows your freaking ear away. Right. That's a cozy name. Should be Cozy Banshee.
All right, okay. Cerebral, tell us where we can find you, sir.
I don't know. Whatever. No, you can find me on Twitter, formerly X or X formerly Twitter, whichever way you want to work that. It's Cerebral Paul 1, Twitch at Cerebral Paul. Thursdays you can find me at 4GQ TV. Fridays you can find me here, Wasted with Wize. Tuesdays sometimes you can find me on Retro Renegades. Of course, I'm also on I'm one of the editors and writers for lordsofgaming.net and also for 4GQ TV. I just dropped an article, yesterday or day before yesterday, review of the movie Screamboat, starring my buddy David Howard Thornton, who was Art the Clown. And Screamboat is a remember Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie went to public domain last year.
That's a horror variation of that, right?
It's a horror variation.
I need to watch that.
He had a lot of fun. You could tell by watching it. It's actually pretty well done. I enjoyed it.
Is it on Shudder or something or what?
No. It's a real movie.
Shudder's okay.
I love Shudder.
Yeah,
I
okay.
like Shudder too. I actually a lot of the horror interviews I've gotten it through Shudder because they will do their live watches with the directors and the producers in there. Then I'll reach out to them. Hey, you want to have a chat? And that's how I met some of these people.
Hey, Cerebral.
Yes.
Let me ask you, you probably know. Cozy, you
Which
and
one you want? Cerebral or Cerebral?
Do you remember back in the day with cable, there was this network called the USA Network, right?
Why are you talking to me like I'm?
It's still there.
What?
It's still there.
It's still,
Of course, I remember the USA Network.
No.
My goodness,
You make it like that was like 50 years ago.
USA had USA up all night. Yeah.
No,
literally had 4400, which is like my favorite show ever.
There used to be this guy on a Saturday. He used to do. He was basically an equivalent to Elvira, because how Elvira would be.
You're talking about Swinguli?
No. It was he was Captain USA, and he would always show these Japanese samurai movies or karate.
Oh,
movies
yeah.
So like, do y'all remember that show? I missed that, man.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's
Y'all
when they did the
remember that
Elvira
show?
stuff
It
and
was
the
Captain
USA Up All Night with the dingy blonde and all that stuff. Yeah.
It was.
I gotcha.
Man, those were
I only
some
watch the
classic.
good stuff.
That Mystery Science Theater 3000. That shit was
Good
so
stuff.
fire, man. I used to love that.
And you know, the Misties are still out there, still doing their thing, and you know.
They are. They're still making episodes?
Well, no. Well, they did for Netflix for a couple seasons, but they still do theater shows and stuff. Of course, the mad scientist. That's they do the Mads are back, and they do a show like every month. Rift Tracks is the other side of that. Rift Tracks has the bots and the second guy. Not I can't think of his name right now. So yeah, they're all over the dude. They're all over. They do shows in theaters, and they do those things where you watch the movie in the theater, and it's and they usually base it out of Minnesota where they do it live, and they simulcast it to all the other theaters. So if you get tickets and go to Minnesota, you can watch them do it live on stage.
Where in Minnesota? Because we're going to the Mall of America.
It's I think it's in that area. I want to say, but. They only do it certain times of the year. They, when they're doing a thing. I'll tweet you. I'll send you all these different.
Send me the link on that.
Because there's multiple sites. Because the Mads are back is one group. That's part of. In fact, that's one of the guys on there is I know him very well at this point because we've even played the Rift Tracks game together. I kicked his ass, by the way. But yeah, so the Mads are back. They do their thing at least once a month on their Twitch channel, and you can.
I don't even know they had.
Or not even their Twitch channel, but you can pay like $10 for a ticket and watch them do it live on, or watch it later. I'll send you all that stuff. But yeah, they're still around. They're still ripping movies.
Oh yeah, I miss those shows, man. I really do. Those like from my childhood there, but
when I'm in a really bad place, I will just go back and watch old episodes and stuff. Just because it's chill. Yep.
Yeah, it's chill. I like it. And hey, trust me, Bushido, if you ever want to enjoy your edible, watch one of those shows after eating one.
Oh my God.
B-rated movies are a guilty pleasure. My B-rated horror movies are my favorite.
Man,
listen to them old kung fu movies with the that's still my joint. The old Godzilla kaiju movies.
What was that movie? The Seven Chambers of Shaolin.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I love that movie.
Elemental ninjas or super ninjas, as they said in the U.S. Oh yeah, I used to love that stuff.
They made Cripple Masters. I don't know if you've seen that one.
What's the one again?
That's a real movie, Cripple Masters.
I didn't even know their fucking names. I used to just watch it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm about to say. This is one of those. I can't say, but yeah, I watched everything. Like why I said, like I ain't even know the names. I just watched it.
The funny thing is, back in the day, like remember, like it's super hero movies in America, the hero would always win. In those karate movies, the hero would win, but then die.
Exactly.
Point.
With his girl hold him in her arms, and dude just dies. Like, yo, you should get her, and it's over.
Shit, Well. All right, guys, that is our show for tonight. You can catch us here every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern with these saucy motherfuckers. And yeah, my name, as always, is the Wize Old Gamer, the man who brings the fun in dysfunctional.
Which is really an oxymoron. Oh, I'm sorry.
The
Go
man
ahead.
who gives you children candy.
No,
I had my mic
that
muted.
might be an oxymoron, but you're just a moron. There you go.
Touche.
I'm not always
I'm not toucheing him anywhere. No.
Wize Old Gamer with a Z, the functional substitute. PlayStation, Xbox, Twitter, Blue Sky, I don't know what the fuck.
Blue Sky with all 5 people.
The Sistine Chapel, I don't know.
Sistine Chapel.
I don't know, you know.
Wise be
Grinder, Backpage, OnlyFans. You'll find me.
I was like, I'm outside.
Yeah. FarmAnimalsOnly.com. We know you're over there.
Don't take that. Don't take that, Wize.
To quote one of my favorite comic books of all time, I don't fuck goats. I make love to them.
Oh,
God.
And can you define the difference for us, please? For the judge.
He's gentle. He's gentle.
Lipstick.
Sprinkled rose petals on him and lit candles.
Sprinkle rose
I'm not gonna wait till I die to get my 70 virgins. God damn it!
He doesn't put the goat at the end of a cliff and push, so the goat pushes back. You know.
I fucking kill it, then I kill it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my name is Wize Old Gamer with a Z.
How do we know if you killed it? The goat can't let us know.
Right.
You can catch us here every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. I do want to thank everybody who showed up in the chat. Guys, I couldn't have done this without you. Rich Krishner, RPG88, Retro, Sir X-Man, Doomsayer, C Steph, let's see, AC Vic.
He was for a second in the beginning.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
KY Bob, he came in and left. AC Vic, Lesser Logic, Real Gamer. I think I got them all. If I didn't mention your name, then of course we don't
give a shit. No,
Nah, we all love you all the same. But yeah, so you catch us every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, so remember, you can be anywhere, but you've not been anywhere till you first been wasted with Wize. Have a great night, everybody. And yeah, see you next week after the Doom. All right, there we go. And
night.
I'm
gonna go night night.